But hey, get this, we have jokes for you. We're the only show that provides the guests with jokes.
Now, wait, when you say jokes for me,
you read them.
For me to...
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for me to tell?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to think about it.
I like that.
Now, let me see.
There's less pressure telling them than having a fake react to them.
Exactly. and you know, if it doesn't work, it's not your fault. You know what I mean?
I'm saying it to you or
no,
to the camera?
Yeah.
Should I read it first or just
wing it?
Just Scientists now say that trout can communicate with each other with subtle physical gestures. Just when you thought trout couldn't get any more, well, I should read it first. I should read it first
start
to
again.
give it the cadence.
Start again. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, so this is like a monologue.
Yeah.
Okay. Scientists now say that trout can communicate with each other with certain physical gestures. Geez, just when you thought trout couldn't get more fascinating.
Wow. He swallowed that whole, well, that's incredible.
I did. Yeah. You shouldn't stop right before the last punchline word. You shouldn't go.
How did you do that, though? How did you memorize that so quickly?
Oh, I don't know.
Just good, huh? Here, Fred.
Adam.
Whatever. Well, that name's a name. Jesus Christ, he gets fucking.
You knew what he meant.
Yeah.
Mondays aren't actually worse than any other day, according to a group of researchers who've never read a Garfield comic.
Fred?
Yeah.
You can't win with these.
Now you want to read it over first.
Okay,
Right?
trash Fred. I'm actually, I don't want to mispronounce a word.
Yeah,
I'm stupid.
of course.
The Jamestown College. How about this? I'll read it to myself. I'll say just enough so you can hear it. Read the first. Archaeologists evacuating a trash pit at the Jamestown colony site in Virginia have found direct evidence of human cannibalism. It's believed to be the first historical occurrence of someone eating a bag of dicks.
I don't know. You don't know that phrase.
Me?
That's what you told me before.
I said I don't know the phrase back. No,
I thought you said that.
It's a Louis C.K. bit, right?
Oh, yeah.
The guy stopped him and
That's
said,
right.
go eat a bag of dicks.
That's,
Yeah.
that's where it came from. Maybe he made that up, did he? Or is it a real phrase?
Did he make
it's
up
been around for a while. It's possible.
I don't even know that that is a phrase, bag of dicks?
Yeah, eat a bag of dicks.
Oh.
It's a flawed joke in many respects.
Yeah. There's a
It's not good right
flaw.
Two women accused of using sorcery have been beheaded in a remote village in Papua New Guinea. A team of police rushed to the scene but were forced to stand by and watch the victims being decapitated with axes as locals refused to let them come to their aid. Norm, if you ever go to a remote village in Papua New Guinea, at all costs avoid using sorcery.
I didn't understand any of that.
Maybe you'll have me
Everyone
back.
stopped listening like 3 minutes in.
Well, it's a fucking novel.
That's the problem. The amount of time to the amount of laugh ratio.
Way off.
If that was a one
That's bad
line,
when
you got the same laugh.
It was 2 cards.
It
be
was
bad.
2 cards.
Yeah.
Didn't bode well for my.
I know. This is not a.
Is this the first time you're trying this?
No, it's worked before.
Okay.
So.
All right. A Las Vegas woman was arrested after hiding a stolen Rolex in her vagina. Well, now Bruce Jenner's just gone too far.
I don't understand that. But somebody told me he's going to have a sex change operation. That's what
I'm
somebody
just wondering
said.
if
I guess, is that the joke?
these are jokes I'm just reading. I don't.
Yeah.
They're not.
Bill Clinton says he wouldn't be surprised if someday we are visited by aliens from outer space. Leading Democratic presidential hopeful Hillary Clinton said, "Shouldn't you be getting a blowjob somewhere?"
Why always dirty?
Why always dirty?
But this is a joke I think Ray will kill with him.
Can't lose?
I think.
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot-tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, whores. That's you. That's your voice all the way right there. It's the Norm Macdonald lean in, whores.
No. But listen to this one, this character.
Health officials in Texas raided the home of 60-year-old sisters and found over 100 cats. The cats are named Bootsy, Lola, Tippy, Cornelia, Fluffy, Minerva, Ringo, Jasper, Charlie, Spanky, Snooks, Doodle, Wally, Happy Pants, Zeke, Veronica, Dolly, Clyde, Ajax, Rusty Puffball. Those were 2. Snuffy, Sylvia, Mr. Moody. Leonardo, Zeke again, apparently, for some reason. Tawana,
Don't comment.
Even
on
Rude, Nimrod, Sylvester, Skee-Ball, Toots,
that. Okay,
Jupiter, Lady still like
Oh, this is one of the bits that
gets
that's
funnier.
Funny, not funny,
Yeah.
most funny again.
yeah,
And
that
then
theory.
not funny, and then
Murgatroyd, Lullabelle, Newton, Felix.
remember Letterman's top
Smurfette.
10 numbers? The top 10.
That's right.
Top 10. Top 10 numbers from 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
and that's
awesome.
all it was like number 10.
That's
8.
great.
And then
Do you remember
there was
that,
a big
Steve?
applause, yeah.
It was actually an emergency list.
And it killed.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, because there was a surprise ending, because there was a tie. And, 3.5.
What a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
twist.
That's
He had written a
awesome.
list about an airplane crash, the pilot excuses. And Letterman said, maybe this is a bad idea, because it was
Yes.
a crash.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so we had a minute. I said, how about numbers from 1 to 10?
Yeah.
So he was actually reading it cold.
Oh, so you
That was
wait a
actually
minute, wait a
your
minute. I
idea.
just quoted something that you wrote.
Yeah, yep.
That is great.
Yeah.
It's more out than you were thinking.
All right, this is the last joke.
All right, why don't you do it?
No. I didn't do a joke
read one
today.
joke, yeah.
Well, I think it is.
Again, okay.
Great.
The street drug Special K has been found to be an excellent treatment for depression. This, according to the New England Journal of Gary Busey.
All right, we'll end it there. We are back with the only Adam Sandler.
Yep.
I think they were confused, but I didn't say one and only.
Why should you?
But I figure only.
There is. You don't need
You
one.
don't need one. All right, Adam Sandler says we're going to do jokes on this show. We actually provide the guests with
Oh,
jokes.
good.
So you don't have to think about
Who wrote them?
funny stuff. Oh, we don't like to say because you can also you have the option to pass.
Oh, but I can put this in my act
It's
if I
like
want.
Jimmy Fallon. Yes. It's a game. Okay, ready? I'll do the first joke to show you how they go. Michigan, so you can do it to the camera or you can do it to me. It doesn't matter who you do it to. Michigan man Curtis Peterson received a 15-year prison sentence for having sex with his pet pit bull. What's that, lassie? Woof, woof. Grandpa got stuck in a well? Woof, woof. Oh, you got raped. So I didn't want to say, but that's just now this is to me a perfect Sandler joke. You try that one.
Okay. A new study found that men with beards are more attractive. More great work from the University of Bob Seger. That was a good one. That's great.
We always get one to Ige,
Let's go, baby.
All right.
Big man.
Sometimes he gets nothing.
Growing up, I never would have believed that one day I'd need a computer just to masturbate.
That's not bad.
Did they have computers when you grew up?
Yeah, I had a
TRS-80.
Apple II GS.
Oh, really? So yeah, when I was young, Radio Shack TRS-80. But we're older than you, huh, buddy?
I don't remember
That was a
computers.
biggie.
When I was young, the computers were so big they'd fill up a whole room. But the good thing is you could ask them a specific question, and then it would come out yes or no. Unless you asked them an imponderable, and then the smoke would spit out. And it'd say this does not compute. Okay, here, what about this joke? Call me an old softy. But I'd prefer if you called me a distinguished gentleman with a flagging erection. Hey, you got the New York things on, so here's a New York joke.
All right.
New York sports joke.
Tim Tebow's time in New York wasn't a total loss. He had a monument built to him in Central Park. A bench.
A bench.
A bench.
In my opinion, if you're going to fight the war on terror, a good place to start would be this nation's haunted houses. They're terrifying.
That's a good one.
When I was a boy, my dad, he was a I guess he was a frugal fella.
Yes, yes.
You know, he was the double generation.
He had a big family he had to have
yeah.
money for, you know.
And he was the age, you know, of my grandfather. He had me when he was 50.
That's
so he
right.
had lived in
Right.
the Depression and stuff. Anyways,
Right.
the point of the thing is this.
Uh-huh.
We're at the exhibition, and there's the haunted house. So me and my brothers all want to go in the haunted house, and my dad says, well, God damn, that's no haunted. That can't be a haunted house. Why not? Well, it has wheels. The ghosts that come right out of it.
That's funny, man.
Direct. Catherine Zeta-Jones has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Turns out half the time she's Zeta.
Oh, that's good.
Here's one for you, Adam.
Gadsy.
If you were a Russian prostitute on a date with serial killer Andrei Chikatily, a.k.a. the Rostov Ripper, and he couldn't achieve an erection, this was not your lucky day.
Oh, goodness. Well, things happen in this world, you know. Here's one. This actually is from my home
You wrote this? Oh, okay.
Canada.
Yeah.
Self-described Canadian porn star Luca Rocco Magnotta heading to court soon for the grisly murder of his Chinese boyfriend. Magnotta allegedly killed Lin Yoon on videotape. He started by cutting Yoon's penis off, leading to his lover bleeding out live on videotape. Ooh. Magnotta then went to his kitchen and placed his boyfriend's penis into a skillet, frying it until it was golden brown. While taking his last breath, Yoon witnessed his supposed soulmate feast on his genitals. After Yoon had perished, Magnotta began dismembering him, sending packages of his... I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
Yeah.
You want to do that one?
Yeah. Adam?
One day in the hopefully not too distant future, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un is going to hear a loud popping sound, the sound of his head coming out of his ass.
Adam's very kind.
just-
to you. Adam is the kindest guest to you so far.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah. Just in case he's still booking Tempe. Got to get in there.
Super Dave Osborne stared at him for a full 25 seconds.
He's tough. He's a strong man, yeah.
Where did you find this guy?
That guy is funny, though, eh?
Here's one for
I have it?
Adam.
Thanks.
A little joke.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's, says the guy who didn't shove a bunch of Reese's up his ass. That's good. Very good. Very good. This is very. Remember how hard you used to kill on SNL, by the way?
What?
You with these jokes, and remember you had to bring me out.
Yeah.
I'd
It
be
was always
next to
fun
you.
to bring Sandler out.
Oh God, I didn't
Fucking
make you do.
kill.
Oh no, you would interview the Cajun man.
Yeah? No.
No, that was Ken.
Nealon.
No, but you
Nealon
interviewed-
was perfect at that.
But what did you used to? You used
I
to do
just sat
some
there
off
while
the-
you did the Hanukkah
Oh.
song.
Yeah, but you were a rock.
I remember helping to write that Hanukkah song. By golly, it was fun.
Yeah, we all did it
And
together.
then it was before the computer.
It was when Roseanne was host. We were
Yes,
all
that's
you.
right.
They loved
That's right.
you.
And before it was before computers.
Right.
So Lori Joe was at that time the writer's assistant. You would have to go, Lori Joe, find out if this guy's a Jew.
That's right. That's right. It would be like a day later. I don't think so. Oh, what rhymes with
And then at the end, all I remember at the end, I said, there he is, Adam Sandler, not too shabby.
Oh wow.
Very
Okay, what is
nicely
your
done.
joke?
The Octomom has reportedly been evicted from her California home. The mother of 14 children packed up and left her property in Palmdale after being asked to leave for not paying her rent for the month of April. The single parent, whose real name is Nadia Suleman, exited leaving a huge mess and the stench of urine inside the pad. Wait, it says here the urine has been traced back to Adam Eget, which is me.
So it's a self-effacing joke.
Tricked you there.
Hey, here's
Gotcha.
one that for Adam. It reminds me of this. Reminds me of a Dangerfield joke. So I'm going to give it to Adam for his long-standing respect and love
For the
for the great
My
Rodney.
favorite
All
stand-up.
right, baby, okay, give me this.
All right, okay.
All right, my brother-in-law is so stupid. You kidding me? The first thing on his bucket list was suicide. All right, baby, okay. That's good,
That is a very good Rodney
Very
joke.
good,
That's like a Rodney. Okay,
all right.
fine.
I remember at the end, I saw him a couple of times at the improv, and at the end he'd say, "Thanks for the use of the hall."
Oh, yeah,
I wish we had the Gardner joke that he made him tell Rodney.
Was it? Remember Bob Woods used to open for Buddy Hackett?
Yeah.
And he used to, he won the first night, he said to Buddy when he got off, "Hey man, that was a great set." He goes, "They're not sets, they're shows." And then and Bob Woods said that he did a whole tour with him and he on purpose did it every
just
night.
goes there?
And he would come off and he'd go, "Whoa man, that was quite a set." "They're not sets, all right, baby, thanks for the haul. You're all right, you're okay. Kevin James has a smooth Rodney, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, he does a good one?
Unbelievable Rodney.
Really?
Yeah, okay. He gets deeper.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Rodney, by the way, was that not the
Oh
craziest?
my God! It's funny that he thought he didn't know he was funny or something, you know.
Like, yeah, everything he
Right.
said was funny. Yeah.
and everything was funny, but he didn't know if you were making fun of him or
They think I'm a square or something.
Yeah, but everybody worshipped
Everyone
him, but
loved
he
him.
didn't understand it. Yeah.
Any good stories from?
Well, no, one time Josh Gardner he used to do this joke all the time, and I'd make him do it. It was a retarded joke, where he'd go like, there's these two gay guys, and one guy says to the other, he says, this is how Josh talks, he goes, one gay guy says to the other, "Let's play a game called hide and go seek, and I will hide, you try to seek me, and if you find me, you get to fuck my ass, I'll be behind the couch." So I said, "You gotta tell that to Rodney, you know?" And so Rodney came, and then they were in that hallway down by the makeup where it's super thin, you know, that Farley used to have his dressing room. It's that super thin hall. And so I said, "Go tell him the joke." And he got stuck there with Rodney real close, you know. And he told the joke to Rodney, and then big silence, and then Rodney said, "I'll tell you something, kid, I'm not much for jokes, okay?" The guy most for jokes ever.
I hate one-liners, baby, all right?
All right. We're going to end the entire broadcast now.
Yep.
So thank you, Adam.
It's time, Normie.
It was
Let's do it
wonderful.
again. It's great being with
I'm
you.
going to give you 2 jokes to do, though, to end the show.
Okay.
And here is the first joke. Now, you can read ahead. There's nothing wrong. There's no shame in reading
Okay,
ahead.
so I can deliver it a little stronger.
Yeah, no, you've been delivering them great. I'm just saying, no shame in reading ahead.
I think there's nothing cooler than being a lone wolf, except at wolf picnics when you don't have a partner for the wolf wheelbarrow race.
Okay, you know what?
All right, baby. Okay.
I'm going to give you two more jokes. You can read ahead, but I think this one is perfect Sandler.
Okay.
Offstage Sandler.
That's a good one.
We should end that. Here, I'll tell you what. We'll end with that one.
right, you
and do
say
that one.
that.
You can read ahead.
Porn
on that
actor
one.
Ron Jeremy is back at work after having open heart surgery. The name of his next feature, "I'll have to sit down for most of this."
Okay, so this is going to end the broadcast, and then we'll say goodnight. The perfect Adam Sandler offstage Adam Sandler joke. And here it is.
Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, but I invented the light bulb up my ass.
All right, Adam Sandler, everybody. Thank you, buddy. All right. Not too shabby.
Thank you very
My
much.
hero, Adam.
Way to go.
Do you want to do some jokes, David?
Fuck, something, yeah.
Well, here's a very, what do you call it? When a joke is just ripped from today's headlines.
We have to explain how the jokes
Topical.
Topical.
After being drafted in the 7th round by the Rams, Michael Sam kissed his boyfriend. The celebration didn't end there because on ESPN2 there was full insertion. This is a joke.
Yeah, these are jokes on these cards.
Oh, okay.
It's time for this week's This Week I Learned. Adam, there's a thing we do. This Week I Learned.
This week, I learned that cum tastes like nickels.
Oh.
This week. Is that true?
That cum tastes like nickels?
Yeah. That's funny. Is that what it says?
That's what it says here.
This week I learned how many gallons of sweat my Kmart hat can hold. Jesus Christ.
But you know, people are watching that envy the heat, you know, from all across this nation.
Oh, God. Yeah, it sounds like when I was in Arizona. I hate that.
This is interesting. A study has found that the average high school prom goer now spends $1,000, or $2,000 if you count the abortion. Have you ever been with a girl that had an abortion?
Sir.
Sir.
This guy goes in and they go, hey, 10th one's free. Hit his card.
I do have a lot of abortions.
Under your belt.
There's one joke for you.
A Westchester parking enforcement officer stole $89,000 in quarters. How much laundry does this guy need to do?
No, this is a good performing joke.
The man behind the voice of Tony the Tiger. Sadly, the man behind the voice of Tony the Tiger died at 64. His last words, I don't feel great. I gave it something. Yeah. Are these left over from when you did updates?
Oh boy, 2 strangers were arrested for having sex on a plane. How about that, huh? You know who I feel sorry for? The guy in the middle seat.
This saves it.
Do you like American Idol?
Sure.
Okay.
Wait, no, I don't like it. Then do the joke.
Oh, here's a good one.
Are these from the audience? They write them? Did you read them? Did you write them or the audience?
Sure.
No. Neil Patrick Harris posed nude for the cover of Rolling Stone.
This is a true story. Neil Patrick Harris posed nude for.
Am I reading it wrong?
No, just saying it's a true story.
Neil Patrick Harris posed nude for the cover of Rolling Stone, except for a hat hanging off his wiener. And this morning, Adam Egat. Oh, is that your name? Fucking change it. Is it. And this morning, Adam woke up and said, "Hey, where's my hat?"
Sorry, Neil Patrick Harris' cock.
It's on his dick. Go get it.
I bet Neil Patrick Harris fucking shoved his cock deep up his asshole.
Oh my God.
But he probably couldn't even get it hard because look at him. So he had to like cram it in. Like, you ever have to cram it in or no?
Yeah,
you probably.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not worth the anal sex.
We are living in a golden age.
I go, can we just tell people we went in the behind and we don't have to really do it?
The behind.
I'm trying to clean up your fucking show. We're living in a golden age of Adam masturbating to interracial granny porn.
Gary told you that one in confidence. That's fine.
You ever see that?
He's sort of a good foil.
What's that granny thing? Have you ever gone on porn and then something shows up you don't want to see?
Yeah. Gaping.
Gaping, exactly what I was going to say.
You know what I do? You know, it's funny? Mother-daughter porn.
Oh, yeah?
Because the guy is like a hot 18-year-old, and then you got like an older like cougar, and then the chick's doing it, and the guy's all excited, and then she goes, "Get out, I'll show you how to ride that cock." And he's like, no, and he's trying to look, and he's pulling the other one back by her foot, and she's like, "Can I get my 300 up front?" And then this one's like, "Yeah, you like that shit? Not bad for 57. He's like, 50s? You're a fucking cougar, I thought. Let's talk to the union about putting some parameters on this fucking word cougar. Jesus, you old hag. Get this. He's always darting back to the fake daughter going, she's like, I can't move her. She's too sturdy. She's like, oh, this is how you do it, sissy. It's disgusting. True.
What was the website called again?
I think it's just mother-daughter porn. I don't know if there's a particular site.
One time I saw there was a porno, and it was funny because it was like a true moment. All of a sudden, the porno, the guy was eating, he was behind the girl, and she was like standing up, and he was eating out her ass hole. and then she says, she's like, yeah, eat out that asshole, eat out that asshole. And then she's like, come on, eat it out. Is that the best you can do? And then the guy goes, he was like shocked. And then he went back to him and he was like, first of all, how much technique can there be involved?
You're back there, you won. Like, Someone's licking your ass. Just be happy.
You know what kind of porn this guy enjoys the best?
So we covered it.
Cuckold porn.
Oh, he stands there and watches someone fuck his girl.
Yeah, someone of a different race.
Is it always is that what it means?
Very traditional way, yeah.
Traditional way. I didn't know. I didn't.
Well, why does he get that voice?
I don't know. It scares me at times. Sometimes it's comforting. But I never knew what cuckold meant. I just click on it. What's this one? Oh, okay, I get it.
I don't like that gaping stuff.
No, no good. By the way, I think
searches that into the search
I think
bar.
old people say porno like us, and everyone else says porn. Do you think that's true?
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Rock told me, I was talking about reality TV, he said, it's called TV. Says only old people call it reality.
Is that right?
Only old people call them reality shows. They're called shows. Yeah, this one. About the mass, the great big
Longest
story.
15 minutes of my life. I skipped the black mass.
Forget that one.
I skipped the black mass, that devil.
No, forget that one. Forget that one.
Am I reading wrong?
Forget that one. You know, George Clooney is engaged.
Sure.
How about that, huh? He and you were sort of the modern day, huh?
Read that one.
What? Oh, this one? You like this one?
He'll like it.
He'll like it. He should read it.
Dr. Dre announced that he's the first hip-hop billionaire, a regular J. Paul Ghetto.
He thinks you mean Japan.
Well, here's actually a joke about Donald Sterling.
Oh, good. All the charities that Donald Sterling donated millions of dollars to are giving the money back to him. Well, that'll show him. It's not bad.
There you go. Oh, what about this? A pit bull. What is it? To stop a pit bull attacking her daughter, a Texas man bit the dog. Well, that's an interesting story. A man bites a dog. It's not what I would call news.
Man bites dog.
Yeah.
Used to be dog bites man, right?
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Yeah.
I don't get this. I don't get it. Really. Do you write these for real? Do these come from the fucking YouTube subscribers or whatever?
Oh, you know the search for the Malaysian Airlines? Did you hear about the latest?
I heard it was missing.
Yeah, well, did you hear about the latest?
No.
Here, it's on this card.
Okay. The search continues. In related news, a plane was spotted by some cavemen in the year 365 BC. I don't totally get it.
This
back in time?
is the final joke. In my hand,
Thank God. Are we getting the wrap up?
I hold the final joke.
Please, because I have to make some calls.
Thank you for being with us, David. And you look great.
I do?
Yes, to me, I'm quite shocked actually by it. I mean, I see David, but
No, because I got a little skinnier because I ate
what was that?
vegetables. Yeah, at SNL I eat pizza every day and fat stuff, and I got pasty
By
and
golly, you look young though. Doesn't he look young?
Yeah, it's shocking.
I mean, I see him a lot all the time, but for some reason it struck me today.
Are we the same?
How
age?
old?
You know, I think I'm the same age as Russell Crowe.
No,
I think he looks older than
I just hit a huge number.
I don't want. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
horrible.
50 years old. But here,
9 more years, I'll be there.
I hold in my hand. He's young, but his cock doesn't work. In my hand, I hold
The last.
the final joke,
Okay.
and then we fade to black, David.
Back up.
So thank you for being with us.
I like that people have headsets on here like this is some sort of real show.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. Good. The last
This is
one.
usually where
Do you
I
think
say
this is
that,
a top 10
thank
show
you,
you've
David
had?
Spade, and then everyone in the crew sort of applauds.
Okay. But read your
David
last joke.
Spade.
Read your last joke.
No, they should have done it by now.
I like that you can hear the crew. They're interactive.
Yeah.
That's good.
Here it is. So thank you for being with us, David. Would you like to have any parting words? Any parting words?
Me for David?
For David.
Oh yeah, thanks for being here.
Okay.
Do you want to say it in your regular voice?
You mean a more Buffalo Bill? Thanks for being here. Like that?
The final joke
It's growing on me.
from David Spade, a man in Chippewa. A man in Chippewa.
Did you help me like with
Well,
that
just
one?
yes.
A man in Chippewa allowed a hyena to eat his penis after being told by a witch doctor it would help him become rich. Is it me or does it sound like that hyena and witch doctor were in cahoots? That's pretty. I'm glad you saved that for that.
David Spade, yeah.
Get my things, guys. Thank you.
So this is where we do jokes. Would you like to do a joke, Carl? You're a great joke teller.
I'd love to do a joke.
Okay, here's a joke.
Okay.
Carl Reiner, the great Carl Reiner. So you can read ahead. You can just read.
No, a tractor trailer flipped over, releasing millions of bees, which stung the driver hundreds of times. Speaking from the hospital, the driver said, "No flowers?"
Wow, you put a little Yiddish in that one.
Yeah.
I realized in therapy, Carl, that I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living. Oh, no, I'm afraid of dying. I had Larry King sit in this chair, your
No
chair,
kidding.
a couple of weeks ago, and he said exactly.
That's right.
He said he's a younger man than you by a dozen years.
Really?
As many as Emmys as you have, so the years that he
No kidding.
divides you by. But he thinks of death all the time.
You know, there's a whole.
What about you?
There's a whole chapter in this book, how to tell of the encroaching. Oh, look at this. You know, I have you asked about tweets. There's a whole bunch of put your money where your mouth is when a burglar breaks into your home.
My favorite
Put your
was-
money where your mouth is, and you'll get the tenth the interest you would from a bank. There are a lot of those.
My favorite was
He'll
a
interrupt
penny
you at
earned
this
is
point.
nothing to brag about.
Yeah, a
That
penny
one.
earned is nothing to brag about, right? Some
good
people
one.
just don't get it, while other people get it but just don't want it.
Well,
Oh,
those
that's
are
not so
good.
good. Felons will be less likely to commit crimes if our prisons served worse food.
Well, what about these jokes? They're not going to sound as funny anymore.
No, go ahead.
Well, you don't want to do a dirty joke, Carl.
Absolutely.
There you go, sir.
Okay. Police in Tennessee arrested a teenage girl when they found a loaded handgun in her vagina. When questioned, her boyfriend said, "I guess that explains why my cock..." I can't say that word. "I guess that explains why my cock kept getting blown off." I don't get it. Oh, I get it. I make believe I don't get it because that means I'm not complicit. I'm not complicit.
2 months later, we still haven't found Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. This looks like the work of Joran Vandersloot. Remember that character?
Yes. No.
You don't remember him?
He's one who allegedly, well, he murdered a
How about this one, Carl?
Okay. A 28-year-old med student is auctioning off her virginity online. For $300,000, you can have the worst sex of your life. That's good.
That ain't
That's
bad.
good.
That ain't
Who
bad.
writes these?
Oh, well. How about this one?
I know who writes them. You know who writes them? Men in prison.
Yeah, that's right.
A man in Chipata allowed a hyena to eat his penis after being told by a witch doctor that would help him become rich. Is it me, or does it sound like that hyena and witch doctor were in cahoots?
I think maybe they were in cahoots.
Gee, who writes these?
Huh?
We should have this person locked up and looked at, or at least looked at.
Let's let Adam Eager read one. He likes to read sometimes.
All right, George Clooney's engaged. The rich and handsome 53-year-old told reporters, "It's time for me to settle down and start officially cheating on a heartsick and disillusioned spouse."
I don't hear any laughter.
Well,
I love George Clooney so much that he can do no wrong. He's just one of the
I
good.
can do a lot of wrong.
He's just one of the good human beings
he
in the
is,
world.
isn't he? Well, he put you in 3 movies.
But the things that he does, he and his father going to Darfur and going through Chad at risk of being to send food and shelter to
Yeah.
people who are getting killed. I know he's a man of the world. I mean, a man caring about the world.
Now, I don't know much about geopolitics, but that is one cool name for a country, Chad.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this one?
Yeah, okay.
This is a terrible story. The
The
Nigerian
kidnapping victim in
schoolgirls.
Nigeria are being forced to marry their captors. I'm glad to hear these kidnappers are old-fashioned.
In a way.
Yes.
In a way, I mean, they're getting married.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a similar type of joke.
Right. Some of the 200 Nigerian schoolgirls kidnapped by extremists in Nigeria have been forced to marry their kidnappers. And worse than that, they've been forced to laugh at their husbands' stories, even after hearing them for the umpteenth time.
You know something.
Yeah, I know.
It's
but
very
we don't have
hard to make a joke about those girls who
I
are kidnapped.
know.
When I hear about those things, that
It's
that is one of the
terrible.
worst. You know,
And yet you got a big laugh out of yours.
yeah, I'm sorry. I got. You know,
No, don't
I'm
ever
just thinking of
apologize
Liam
for it,
Neeson doing that movie called Taken. Remember
Taken,
that?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the best movies ever made.
Love Taken.
And I love comeuppance movies. When Count of Monte Cristo is my favorite movie because the people, the bad people, get comeuppance. And in Taken, Liam Neeson wipes the floor with the worst human beings in the world who have taken. And when I read about these kids, all I can think is Liam Neeson, send him in and get
Giving
these
them a
people
call.
out.
Yeah.
Also interesting, though, still that you got a big laugh and he got nothing.
What? Yeah. I don't know how you're still surprised
I
by
think
this.
people are being kind.
To you?
Yes.
I disagree.
No, if there's anybody to be kind to, it's this guy. Hey, how about this? If I had a gun to my head and had to pick a vice presidential candidate to have sex with, I would choose Sarah Palin and Spiro Agnew. Remember Spiro Agnew?
Do I remember him?
Hot piece of ass. You know what I would like to hear? A poem. Do you have a poem, sir?
I do not have a
You do
poem.
not have a
you
poem?
Oh,
do
I
you
have a
Mr.
poem.
You have a
Reiner?
poem?
Oh,
Yes.
perfect.
Well, I'm glad one of us has
Yeah,
a poem.
thank God.
You know, as a matter of fact, this poem, and here, by the way, I wrote this poem when I was 20 years old in the Army, and I wrote it on a piece of paper which I had lost. All I remember was the title.
How did you know to archive yourself?
Well, this is one of the things. When I was writing this book, I happened to find the little
Almond Roca tin?
this little thing I carried in the war. It was with all my letters in it, and I found this piece of paper in there. All I remember was the Ode to the Buttocks Bountiful. I know I
Ode to the
Buttocks
Buttocks Bountiful.
and I
Hell of
remember
a
I'd
title.
written that.
Would you
and
do us the honor of reading?
I will, and I would not have been able to write it had I not found it just a week before I finished writing this book. Ode to the Buttocks Bountiful. This is I had written this to a girl that I'd met in the Army before I was married. A young girl, a very lovely girl named Lois. I don't know her last name.
Not an American.
Hope she's listening today.
Is she an American?
Yes, she is. I met her in Laramie, Wyoming, and she did have a very lovely backside. And I wrote this.
Likely long dead.
I wrote this poem to her.
Wouldn't you say?
Pardon?
I say likely long dead.
Yes. No, not likely. She was younger than I.
Oh.
Maybe not. Oh no, she probably. Oh, to the buttocks bountiful. In any anthology of poetry carefully bound, poems of love and hate undoubtedly could be found. And wherever one deemed to look or to gaze, up would pop Keats with Nightingale and vase. But ne'er has there been in verse or in rhyme an ode or sonnet to a curvaceous behind. To the laws of poets I will not abide, but write as I will of the broad backside. To me this subject is quite as dear as love and intrigue was to Will Shakespeare. So to hell with convention and the great bard, I'll write as I will of the hiney firm and hard. I do not extol, of course, any blasé ass, but one that belongs to a lovely sweet lass. A tush that is soft, rigid, and white, not one flesh, flabby or slight. So to you, dear Lois, I deed must ordain, you are the queen of aforesaid terrain.
Wow.
Anyway,
You're like, you know, you're like, you're a Renaissance man.
I sent that to her and she loved it.
You really?
She really did. As a matter of fact, she was a very, very lovely girl.
You know what else is interesting? Bodacious behinds are now all the in thing.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, she made a trip from Laramie, Wyoming to Bronx, New York, just to visit my folks and tell them what a lovely son they grew up. And she was a very lovely girl. I wish I knew her last name, and I wish she was still alive so I could thank her and say hello to
You
her.
are multi-talented, though. I did not know that. You are a Renaissance man. I would call you the rich man's Steve Allen.
The rich man's poor man.
No, I would call Steve Allen the poor man's.
Steve Allen is the guy who is responsible for the 2,000-Year-Old Man getting on record.
Oh, he is.
We did it at parties for years, 10 years.
Yeah.
Mel and I did the 2,000-Year-Old Man just for fun.
Yeah.
And everybody says, you got to put it on record, you got to put it on record. And we said, no, this is only for Jews and non-anti-Semitic Gentiles. And finally, Steve Allen said, fellas, if you don't do it, George Burns says, if you don't, he saw it at a party, if you don't put it on a record, I'm going to steal it. And Edward G. Robinson said, put it on a record. He says, I want to make a play. I want to make a play out of that. Make a play out of that. That's what he said. Make a play out of that. I want to play the 1,000-year-old man. I says, 2,000. I can play any age. And it was Steve Allen who said, fellas, take my studio, go whale. And we did. We whaled for 2 hours, cut it down to 47 minutes, and there it was.
Now, in that story, Edward G. Robinson's the funny man.
Yeah.
Steve Allen just let you use the studio. But it was you who created the 2,000-year-old man. Not even Mel Brooks. You.
Yes.
The great Carl Reiner has been with us for the full hour of a very special show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is where we do jokes. This is a section where we do jokes.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of comic relief.
Okay.
So would you like to do a joke?
If I can think of one.
Well, no, I give them to you.
You give them to
This
that's
is the great thing. The guest doesn't have to think up a funny story or a joke. We give them to them to read.
That's great.
Now
Wouldn't it be great if your whole career could be like that? You're going on stage. Here's a bunch of great jokes that are going to kill.
Well, that's what this show is all about. So this is a topical joke about the flight, but you just read it. You don't read ahead.
Oh no.
You can if you want.
Malaysian Flight 370 is still missing. You know where they're going to find it? The last place they look.
Now, is that the best one?
Kind of
or is this better? There's two Malaysians. We can't
That's a joke kind of joke. Why do you find something? Why is it always the last place you look? Because you stop looking.
A Joe Pine
So that's
joke?
a joke. That's a comment. That's a very bright joke.
It's not only a joke, it's a comment.
Comment, yes.
Now, this is a different Malaysian, not Air Force joke.
The pilot's last words, I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane. That could be, yeah, that could be. You're giving me these great jokes, okay.
Can you do an African-American accent?
Try, yeah.
Okay. We'll give you an African-American.
Your mom is so fat she developed type 2 diabetes and congestive heart failure. Snap! I don't get that. That so fat she did something.
Well, it's kind of an anti-joke.
It's a literal, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, these new meta jokes?
Yeah, I don't know that.
Well, she's so fat, you expect a joke, but then she's just so fat.
I get it. Have you ever seen George Wallace in Las Vegas?
I love George Wallace.
Wonderfully funny.
Yeah, with his beret.
And he does his your mama jokes.
No,
Your mama.
Yes.
And then he'll have people yell jokes from the audience and he'll pretend he's upset by it.
Right.
I thought of one. Tell me about this.
Yeah.
Hey, George, my mother is so fat when she came to Vegas they had to build another hotel. That's not bad. Was it good enough to send to George Wallace?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I've performed in front of black audiences, African-American audiences, I call them. And boy, they're funny. Like they yell up funny things.
Oh, boy.
Rather than just like...
do they? Yeah.
They yell up funny jokes.
You know, I see a lot of shows that just have black comics, and I tend to go by them because I say I can't relate, but if you ever watch, they're hysterically funny. Really good
Sometimes
good stuff.
you can't relate. I saw one time on Def Comedy Jam, and the guy goes, you got the do-rag? He goes, I'm fucking my woman, and I don't want to answer the phone. Oh, shit, it could be a job, and then after you take the do-rag, you wipe off your dick with the do-rag, and I'm like, no, I don't do that. But everyone in the audience is like, yeah, we all do that. We all wipe our dicks off. We're gonna have Adam Egget do a joke.
Oh, good. And it's Adam, not Andy.
No, I know. I'm trying.
You don't hear any more about...
In the camera.
Oh, sorry. You don't hear any more about Bob Costas' infected eye. Who is stonewalling this investigation? I'm thinking about a year I would work on my delivery, but it's just not working out.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't blame the joke.
Throw him a banana. Throw him a banana.
Do dirty work.
But you read that like there was a punchline. But
yeah, it's. I think the joke
you don't
is.
hear any
that,
more about Bob Costas' infected eye. Who's stonewalling this investigation?
He's a consummate amateur.
Yeah. refreshingly. No, it's a funny joke. But
What about this joke? If thinking that women are not funny, emotionally irrational, and less intelligent than men makes me sexist, then yes, I am sexist. Another meta joke.
Is it?
Sort of. This would be a good joke for you, I feel, Fred.
Okay.
Just to the
Here's
camera.
what I've learned. You beat up and toss one 19-year-old Hispanic hooker out of a moving car, and they never let you forget it. Isn't that true? That is funny.
That's both funny and true.
Hispanic
Yeah.
I got to tell
hooker.
you about a story in Canada that happened. That's terrible. A guy was gay. It doesn't matter if he was gay or not. But he was a porn star, or he was in porns. I think he was a porn character actor.
What?
No, I don't know. They always call them porn stars, but there must be porn character
The
actors.
William H. Macy.
They can't all be stars.
Look, back in the old days, they were the great
Yeah.
faces, the great penises, the great faces.
What a profile.
Yeah,
on
today
this
they're
one.
not. They're just all. No one can do an impression of the modern day porn stars.
Anyway, this guy was a porn star, and he was gay, and he had a lover, and he killed the lover and ate part of him, and then the rest of him he cut up, and he sent pieces of this guy's body to school children, and some of the pieces to, I mean, this guy was a real jerk. Oh, here's a joke. I don't think you should do this joke. I don't know.
no,
I don't know if anyone should do this joke. Should anyone
I
do this
remember a
joke?
joke you did on, I think it was David Letterman. You said, David, have you ever seen a gay porn? You watch adult films, and Dave said, yeah. Have you ever seen the one with all men? He says, yeah, the gay ones. You said, they're awful. Made it sound like they couldn't get any women.
It is
They just
funny.
had not that they were gay. They just couldn't get any women. But we'll do a porn movie anyway. It's not going to go. No one's going to put money into this.
I think that's you. I don't think I
This
said
was a
that.
poor rental choice.
I think you made that funnier than I would. But it is true that straight pornos are the best things ever, and gay pornos are the worst.
They're not good. They're not fun.
Not good at all. That's too dirty. Let's do a nice
not.
joke to clean it up.
Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff. You should let me read this ahead. Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff his cock in them. Oh wait, that's just assholes. It didn't get a laugh, but I'm laughing. That's very funny.
Oh, have you ever heard of the genre of jokes? The Adam Egget jokes.
No.
They're jokes about Adam Egget.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I have not.
Yeah. Have you met Adam Egget?
Adam.
Yeah. So here's an Adam Egget joke, for instance.
Oh, they're always
April
great.
15th is around the corner, and Adam Egget asked his accountant for his extension. Oh, sorry, that's his penis surgeon.
Ah.
See, April 15th is around the corner, and Adam Egget asked his accountant for his extension. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, that's his penis surgeon.
Yeah. He
Oh, that's his
famously
penis surgeon.
that wants an extension. He
I got
famously
that. I got
has a
that.
small
For his
cock.
accountant. For his taxes.
Yeah.
He asked his accountant for his tax extension. Oh, I'm sorry. He asked his surgeon for his penis extension. Just to reword that.
Yeah.
Well, the show is over. We're done. Thanks to the great Fred Willard.
I thought this would never end. My God, you guys love that.
That was sweet.
All right, we're going to do jokes. This is a section where we do jokes. Would you like to do a joke?
Of course. I mean, I don't have...
They're just written
Well, I
out.
read them.
Yeah, you don't even have
My
to think
reading
of
isn't
them.
my strong point, but
Oh,
I'll
really?
definitely give it a good
Okay.
try. It's not a strong point at all. So maybe I should just show you how I should read it and then
Yeah,
decide
yeah.
if you want me
Yeah,
doing it. It is announced this week that the Archie comic book will... I don't think I should do it. I read choppy. I'm not a great reader.
Okay, I'll read it then.
Is that...
Maybe
I'm giving up.
It
Hold on.
was announced.
It was announced this week that the Archie comic book will kick off the character Archie in July.
Off.
Will kill. See, yeah. I trust my instinct.
It was announced this week that the Archie comics books will kill off the character of Archie in July. This is disappointing because if there's one Archie character that should die, it's that cocksucker Jughead. Now, this brings up an interesting point.
It does.
You know what I'm going to say?
No.
The word cocksucker.
The word cocksucker.
Oh yeah. Is that going to go by the wayside? Is that an old?
But that's,
you don't-
that's everybody sucks cock.
I think you're indirectly.
Straight women suck cock, gay guys suck cock, straight guys suck cock.
Huh?
Let me tell you something.
This guy sucks his own cock. That's what he tells me.
In confidence.
I'm laughing because half the time because I think you're so funny. The other half, I just get in the whirlwind of things you throw out there.
No. We have to
You're
say,
telling me.
I love it. Oh, hey, that's great for me in the world that I'm in. Right
Listen,
now.
listen,
But hold on.
Yeah.
I like that. You're stumbling upon something. I know it's accidentally, but
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with what to drop out of, especially when you do comedy. What
Yeah.
to drop out.
Sure.
And again, that's a good one. I think comedically, though, you can always come to a good answer. I think you I might be wrong, I think you sort of just answered it. Anybody could be a cocksucker. So the question is, why is a cocksucker a bad thing
Why
comedically?
is it a bad thing?
But guess what? Comedically, maybe it's because maybe when that was written, that comment, it was thought of women as being cocksuckers because the idea of being gay wasn't even out there. So maybe cocksuckers can. You can kiss
Interesting.
that
It was
goodbye.
around, but yeah, probably.
Maybe you can say, I don't care. It's like, I have moments of going, no, I won't be that person. It doesn't,
yeah.
I'll say one more thing, because I have said this before, but I want to say it again. You got to look at the past, see how you react to it. If you react different than I do to the past, then don't worry about your present as much as I do, and I mean that genuinely.
Right.
The thing about Frank Sinatra, when he used to make jokes about Sammy Davis Jr. signing the shoes, they weren't like fuck black people jokes. And I'm going to go one way, but I'm going the other. You could say Frank got Sammy into the hotels, a lot of people would say.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand. They were friends. Frank got those guys into hotels. He wouldn't work there unless Sammy went in. So they were friends.
Yeah.
So you think it's okay to make those jokes. But I think a smarter person would have been, and I bet they existed. No, they did exist. That stood back and went, I know, but why can't he get him into the hotel and not make those jokes?
Exactly.
And when I was a little kid, I watched those jokes and I asked my parents.
That makes sense.
It's you watch it now and you're like, oh my God. But back then, if people were debating it, some people would be like, they're jokes. It's like, what, we can't joke anymore?
Right.
I didn't care. As a 12-year-old kid, I looked at it, or whatever age I was, and going, ooh.
Even then you knew.
Maybe I was older than 12.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking when I was younger,
I
but that might be even 18 now. You know what I mean? Like, whatever age I was, I remember it didn't take, all it was my sheer look of I didn't overanalyze it, I didn't know what to say, but I did say this. Ooh, gross. I don't want that shit in my act, so I don't mind. If the cocksucker needs to come out, I'm not going, oh my God.
Get it out there. It'll still work.
These people say you can't say anything more?
Yeah.
You can't say anything anymore.
Can't say anything.
What do they want to talk about? They go, oh, the retarded fag Jew is a cocksucker? What are their conversations like? Every time you take an overused term out, they act like, I'm not going to be able to say anything. What are you saying? And we'll be back.
No. Here's I had a black guy open for me, and I got him into the hotel. Nice guy, Vince Champ. His name was Vince Champ. No. I don't know whatever happened to that fella. But a nice man.
Arrested for rape.
He knows, and he's not making fun of rape. See, here's where I defend twisted comedy. I swear to God, it's making sense. You're not making fun of rape. You're making fun of a guy that's so, whatever happened to Vince Champ? The ridiculousness of it.
I seriously don't know.
Well, still you commit to the character, which I love.
Well,
He's John Maddening every
what about this joke? Let's hear this. Let's see what he thinks
by
of
the
this
way,
joke.
did you ever hear what...
I have to tell you a quick story.
Okay, did you ever hear... I hope I'm doing this justice. Never mind. I can't think of his name, and it's embarrassing because I know him really well.
I'll tell you the story, and then you'll hear. There's a guy in Canada, right? Mm-hmm. Now,
I know we're supposed to do these things, and your producer said 5 minutes, but I'm just taking the lead from you.
No.
So go ahead. They're in Canada.
This was a Canadian story, and it's pretty big in Canada right now. And it's not, everybody, Rob Ford, that's a big Canadian story. But we have other stories. And there's a man there that's a porn star who killed his lover, he was gay, and ate him, cannibalized him. And after he cannibalized him, he put it on
Stories
video.
in my book, by the way.
Oh, come on. And after he cannibalized him, he put on video him eating him and cutting him up. Mm-hmm. And the man was in the throes of death. And you could hear him screaming as he was, because he was bound, of course. And you could hear the victim screaming, which seemed to make the killer even hungrier. And he ate his viscera and feasted on different organs. And then I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
He's a real jerk.
Okay,
Is that the adjective? You don't want to.
so see what you think of this joke.
This guy ate people. By the way, thanks for
we
cheering
don't
me
want
up.
to dwell on this.
Thanks for cheering me up. I've been depressed lately, and that story really it makes me think there's hope.
Well, not everybody is. Not everybody's perfect. Jesus Christ.
Can I ask you a question seriously?
The guy made a mistake.
I'm being honest
The guy
with you.
made a mistake. He had a press conference later, and he said he made an error in judgment.
The guy who ate the guy?
Yeah, he made an error in judgment. Now, what do you think of this joke?
I know what you're doing, but I didn't
Todd,
at first.
What do you think of this joke?
No.
What?
Well, it's just I'm saying here.
Yeah.
What was the point of that story?
do you think of this
I'm thinking I'm higher than I am, or you're telling stories that don't make any sense.
No, you're very high.
I don't know. Let our viewing. Thank God we have this. If we were just sitting around my
Your
house.
ears are popping, and we're not on a 777.
Now I know, of course, but before I don't think I did.
But
So
listen,
go ahead.
Now, what do you think of this joke? I'm not sure about this one.
So, Al Sharpton said that the FBI hired him to spy on the mob in the 1970s because if there's one thing the mob trusts, it's loud black guys.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that's okay.
Well, mob wouldn't trust them, so there is something that's funny, right? Yeah. I don't want to sit around and dissect funny jokes.
Oh, I thought you wanted to. Okay.
Well, I do, but I'm paranoid to do it. Yeah, of course I want to.
What about this one?
Because
when I die, I want my body donated to science. But more specifically, a scientist who is working on bringing dead guys back to life.
Oh, that's just, is that funny at all? That's just a statement. I'm serious. Am I crazy? When I die, I want my body to be donated to science, but more specifically, a scientist who's working on bringing dead guys back to. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, forget that.
That could be funny.
But this one, I think you really like.
I think that maybe I'm wrong.
This one is ripped from today's headlines. The search continues in the Indian Ocean for the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 as they listen and try to follow the pings. These guys sound like me always listening for pings. The pings are my Chinese neighbors. Jim and Ellen Ping. Nice people, nice folks. Nice folks.
Hey, and they'll still be looking for this in. This will be in May right now. People are watching this.
Jim, the other day, he very nice guy, Jim Ping. He.
Oh, they really do exist. What is this thing you're doing with your face?
Oh, it's.
Do you have allergies?
No, I'm not used to these glasses, but he was very nice.
So you think that's going to help?
And he lent me. Is that the face I'm making?
Well, one time I thought you were joking around. You were looking at me like, get a close-up. I hope you had a close-up. Roll it in now if you didn't show it
sounds
before.
Like this guy's Jim Ping to conclusions.
Is what?
Jim Ping.
Jim.
Is that what you said their neighbor was? Jim Ping?
That is my neighbor. A nice fella.
Nice guy?
Let me as abacus
I want to do
yesterday.
this.
Jesus.
Oh, come on. That's not a Chinese guy.
I wasn't saying it was.
That was kind of
What are you,
racist.
Mickey Rooney?
Hey, come on.
I know he's dead,
Have a
but
little
Mickey Rooney
respect.
did a very racist thing like you just did in a movie called Breakfast at Tiffany's by the wonderful Truman Capote.
I wasn't doing anything racist, and you know it. But go ahead. I was just doing like someone.
I like Audrey Hepburn. I don't think of her, I don't whack off when I think of her, but she had style.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for saying something that's been on my mind for a long time.
You like her too?
Sure.
Yeah.
She was class.
No, I was thinking about. Why?
Audrey Hepburn had class, but Katharine Hepburn could hang with the fellas.
Thank you. That was a better time back then, right? It wasn't. So don't get me
No,
started.
it was the worst time. You know why?
They took care.
Because they had separate water fountains for the black people and the Chinese people.
What?
You know, and what did they do back then?
Segregated water fountains you're
water
talking
fountains.
about.
Yeah.
And
I know you're
whites,
just
yeah.
kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Well,
they
yeah,
had
but everybody
segregated
knows.
water fountains.
Now, I know you're not kidding about the event of it happening, but I know you're kidding. Of course, everybody knows that.
I'm saying it's a bad thing.
Well, of course it was a bad thing.
Yeah. But
Answering to
it
my
existed, as did the Holocaust.
I believe that the. All right.
First of all,
Oh, my family's going to disown me. I'll tell you a good thing.
Yeah.
I understand now. Can I tell you what I understand?
Yeah.
You don't believe. You never said anything about the
He
Holocaust.
did say one thing.
What's no?
Can I say?
To George Carlin?
No, I'll be completely honest.
To George Carlin.
You're not.
Completely honest. This is what he told
You
me.
have to
Honest
say
at
to
all.
George Carlin, or I can't listen.
He said.
All right, I'll listen.
To George Carlin.
Okay. Oh.
He said, "How could there be poison, a poison gas. I don't know much about the Holocaust, but what did they have inside
The two of you together just are really giving a great homage to that whole time.
Inside the gas chambers, they put a certain type of gas.
Mustard.
Zyklopin 5.
Mustard gas?
No, it certainly wasn't mustard
World War
gas.
I.
It was
Is there
something
Anyways,
9.
Steve?
Zyklon
gas.
There's
Now,
a number. I think.
they put that in the. I believe with all my heart that they put that in and killed innocent people. He says, how is it possible? Because the guards would open the door and get the Zyklon all over their hand and die also.
Okay, can I show you? I can do you justice.
Answer that.
Would my guess that you'd say you don't doubt the horrificness of anything that is talked about, but that is how would that not happen?
How would that not
Maybe
happen?
there was a subdoor.
But he had another thing.
I don't want to make pretend we're some.
He said when the Allied planes came over, they have pictures apparently of the smokestacks, and he said the smokestacks drop a shadow. The smokestacks that we all know spewed out the sad remains of human souls that once had dreams and once loved. He says it's all a bunch of horse shit. I fucking can't laugh. I mean, it's such a terrible thing. But you make me laugh with your fucking weed.
Did you guys know Mad Men's?
There's nothing. I get that.
I'm sorry I laughed.
You're all right.
I'm sorry. We'll edit out
Did
my
you ever
laugh.
get yelled at on a movie? If there's a specific story, did you ever get yelled at on a movie because you know how you laugh once and everyone laughs, and then you laugh the second time and they'll laugh? But there's a time, have you ever, where someone came to you and went, listen, this can't happen.
Did that
again.
happen to you?
Not on anywhere where I had to be nervous about it, but not on a legitimate movie where I would have shit my
I get
pants.
nervous. Well, I mean, I get nervous when I screw up lines, for sure. And I do that a lot.
Do you ever have it happen where someone pulls you aside?
And I read the lines 1,000 times and I still screw them up. And people are, it's okay, but
After a while,
and they're all pros, because they do it every week. I just do it once in a while. But I just don't know how 6 million people disappear from the face of the earth.
Ask this motherfucker. He's the one that thinks that it didn't happen.
Wow.
By the way, you know the weird part? That's why I think something is so funny, because that's the absurdity. Absurd is funny. So to me, it's absurd, but what makes it even funnier, whether it's him or not, and I don't think it is, those people exist. My friend Lynn told me one night, about 15 years ago, he heard someone like that. One of those people that literally says, no, I'm not defying that it. You can tell when they're.
They always say it like that.
They always.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. They always have it's something bad happened, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's him, but yes, he said he went into it very. Almost, he goes, Todd, it gave me a stomachache because, I know where this fucking person's going with this. And he goes, what the fuck did I ever do to make them trust me that I would?
Yeah, don't you get that? When they take you into their confidence, like I have cabbies like that.
That won't happen that often.
I was driving once
thank God.
In Toronto, and the guy goes, it's a good city, too many burrheads. First of all, I'd never heard burrheads before.
I've never heard that.
But he's, and then I say nothing. So he assumes I agree with him.
What is
you never thought that silence would mean agreement, right?
Silence is assent.
But by the way, if we said one thing tonight's show, didn't we just say it all? Silence
is assent.
If you know, hold on.
You would probably argue with that guy.
If comedically we just stumbled upon that dumb or not, you could go, how could that guy think so? That's not the point. The point is, some people think silence means you agree. That should change the way we all live. Right? Because when you're somewhere at a party and somebody says something, I always talk about that. You don't have to stop everything for an hour and a half, but don't let your silence think this dumb fuck that you agree. Take 30 seconds and just say, right? Because I've been silent a fucking lot. I'm not ruining Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not going to do this. By the way, no bullshit to George Carlin. I talk about it in the book.
I'm doing Portland next week, and the last time I was there.
Name drop.
I was, the driver's taking me to the hotel. And, they're all hippies, and this long-haired outfit. And he said to me, and I said, I noticed that there weren't many ethnic, just white people. That's all I saw, And so he was talking about how liberal they were there and everything, And I said, well, it's easy to be liberal, and there's no black people, It's all. He goes, we got our share.
See, that's why I think a lot of people, like some people, you'll ask them how it is, and they think the world is who they circle themselves with.
Right,
so people should be commended that when your circle of friends, you don't have that type of hatred in it. But you shouldn't let it not put you in touch with those fucking people are out there.
Oh, they're out there. A swastika is a symbol of hate. It's not an ancient Indian.
It was once a symbol of peace.
Yeah, I know. Listen, we can't go
That's
on
just
because this
history.
is becoming just hatred.
I still remember my Torah portion.
Your what?
My Torah from my bar mitzvah.
You're Jewish, right?
I'm Jewish, but I'm just saying that the swastika was, in fact, it did originate as a symbol of peace.
Maybe you shouldn't say, if he already thinks the other thing about you, maybe you should leave that fact between you and your other friends.
Fair enough.
Feeding it to Norm, he already thinks
Symbol of
it.
peace.
Yeah.
That's what he says when he looks at Charles Manson's forehead. A symbol of peace.
That's not the first thing I
Work
think.
will make you free.
Set you. I think it set you free.
He knows what's written.
Yeah,
He knows what's written. He knows what's written on the walls.
A lot of people
of
know what was
Birkenau.
written on.
Or Auschwitz.
Yeah, I think it was Auschwitz.
Well, you would know. All right. I apologize to all the viewers.
I'm not an apologist.
You are an apologist.
How'd you two guys meet?
Let's not go into this again.
Oh, he
Under a
came. You
bridge,
came to the Tempe Improv,
Yes.
and he worked there.
Yeah.
I love that. There was a lot.
This is
of
amazing.
that was
You
your
got a
favorite
sleeve you just out of the blue got a sleeve.
Well, I was doing a radio show in Philadelphia called Preston and Steve.
Yeah.
Put a little wink in there in post. Can you put a ding? Preston and Steve. Make sure someone does that. Could they jot that down? And I always wanted an arm sleeve. I never
You
really
always
wanted
did,
a tattoo.
But you never had a tattoo in
Never
your
had a
life.
tattoo.
In your life.
No, but they had this.
At the age of 50,
Not 50.
No.
48.
How dare you?
How old were you? How old were you when you got your first tattoo?
I'm 28 now. I swear to God. And
Oh.
no, I'm 28. I swear to God.
Now, how's that
I
gonna
swear to
look?
the good
How's
Lord.
that
I'm 28
gonna-
years old. Why would I? See,
How's
that's
that
why
gonna
I
look in
gave
the
up using
future?
that word
How's
because
that
it's
gonna
fun and
look?
jokes.
Yeah.
No, I did it. Yeah, I did it. I was probably 47. And I knew what I wanted. And then, ironically, I didn't tweet this, or maybe I did because it seemed like such an obvious joke. My niece, after she saw my tattoo, she told me she had a tattoo, I swear to you, that said no regrets, and she had it lasered off. Her and her. I go, Kate, did you realize how funny that is? She goes, well, I made a mistake. At least she realized it. What's going on? Did you stop doing the show? It was just suddenly?
Well,
I think we had a lot of good.
I don't know.
You're upset about him.
I'm a little upset about him, and then I think it's in very bad taste coming off that to start talking about tattoos on people's arms.
I think you started. Why do you? Because
I
you
got my
started.
first
I love Norm.
tattoo.
You do the old trick. You do it, then you. Well, why would you be talking about tattoos? Because you asked me.
Oh, no, not your tattoos. I just thought it was a little tasteless.
Whose?
Huh?
My tattoo?
No, his denial of the Holocaust.
It is a little.
I don't deny.
He
Is
doesn't.
there some truth to what he's saying? Seriously?
I got a tattoo when I was 32.
See how it changes?
That's first.
No, I wasn't 30.
I was 32.
I
That was
know.
my first and only
See how he
tattoo.
avoids the question.
No, I think the Holocaust happened.
Do you think? Do you ever comment on any part of it being exaggerated?
No.
Okay.
Look at his face, though.
I think he's being honest. I learned
I
how
had
to.
family. They all escaped Stalin in Russia. I know.
See?
Yeah.
That's what all the guys say. Stalin was the bad guy. Stalin was the bad guy.
They were both.
That's what they all say. That's the first
They were both
key.
equally evil.
Whenever you hear guys, what about Stalin?
I'm talking about my 20 minutes during the show we talked about later. We're going to look back at footage and hope we're on the right side. I think this is proving that you can satirize a lot of shit that's fucking hilarious. And I think this is it. I know I'm overanalyzing it, but that's what I do.
Well, that's
but
what
I'm
you do.
afraid
You love
one
comedy.
person will watch this and go, oh, I can't believe they said that. Then they went on to make fun of. No. The joke here is the absurdity. I hope I'm right. Otherwise, fuck it. What do I know? Right? This guy, he does it. I don't think he's. I don't think. Am I breaking? Am I ruining it by saying I know he doesn't believe that, and that's therefore?
I don't know, but I hope to God he does.
I looked at to George Carlin. Is there a story that you're not telling us that when you guys were hanging out driving in the car?
No, I will say like his hero is Andy Kaufman. He's always trying to do, I'm going to be Andy Kaufman. I'm going to be like Andy Kaufman. And then,
Is that what you say?
And then sometimes
love
I
Andy
think,
Kaufman.
yeah.
Me too.
So sometimes I think maybe he's doing this as some sort of an Andy Kaufman.
Or it could be you.
Tribute. Me? No. What am I saying? I'm doing an Andy Kaufman thing by saying the Holocaust happened.
No, by acting like he said it.
I'm not acting like he said it. Ask him. When you ask him, he brings up
Adam.
Stalin, the enemy of Hitler,
You know the power.
the man who fucking stopped Hitler. Stalin.
The only reason he stopped Hitler was
Oh,
because
good old
Hitler.
Joe.
Well, I'm just saying that the only reason Stalin stopped Hitler was because Hitler, they was heading towards victory and decided, all right, fuck this, we're going to go and turn our forces face them towards the Soviet Union and turn on Stalin.
He knows all about
I don't
it.
even know.
No, it was
anything
just
about it.
Of course,
stupid.
no, none of us know about it. He knows every fucking detail. But anyways, listen, it's great to have you here. Why don't you put up your book one last time?
I don't want to
last
be anybody
time.
at home going, you talked about the book enough. Just to prove I'm not joking around, there we go, we can get rid of it.
You were going to say something about John Panette, though.
What?
Oh, well, we were saying that we both have stories about John that are very sweet about, and you know, that one of the last times I remember seeing John was a few years ago, and he was at the gym, and he came by, and he brought me a bottle of water. He goes, I thought, I needed one too, and it was
what a
just so
nice
sweet,
guy,
and he brought me,
man.
and then he goes, oh my God, the smoothies here, have you had them? They're so good. I was like, oh, if an adult can be adorable. That he sure is.
Such a
Yeah.
big baby kind of.
And when we went into a restaurant, because he liked being taken care of, I only did it once, but man, it was fun to go sort of, I experienced the closest I would ever get in my career to be like if you went with like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Because probably 5 people, when they went into that restaurant, knew they were getting $50. So for $50, they, they're closed, but yet we're still sitting there eating dessert. You know what I mean? Oh, take it, and then Mr. Panette, there's no hurry at all, except the whole restaurant's closed down. All the lights are out except one table.
Now, where is this?
This was we went to do this thing in London, which I don't remember where there, but he was on the thing too, and he took us all out to dinner, and it was such a great experience.
London, England?
Isn't that where it's at? Yeah.
Well, no, that's interesting because I found out about the death of John Panette because it was on the front page of BBC. So did he have a British
I don't know. I just happened to be there doing this. I don't even remember what it was, but it was like a little TV thing, and then he was on the show too.
Was it
and we had the same manager at the time,
one that
Alex
was
Murray.
hosted by who hosted it? The one that Dennis Leary hosted?
Don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember there even being a host. I remember just eating dinner with John Panette. That was probably the best thing that happened the whole.
He used to bring food for the
London
whole
was
staff
great.
after his weekends in Tempe, just from Cheesecake Factory, pies after pie after. What a nice
Great
guy,
guy.
man.
It
Everyone
was
loved
wonderful
him.
also how London rebuilt itself so quickly after the bomb.
Did they not?
Oh, they did, no.
Oh, they did.
After that, what I thought.
Socially, I'm aware, but politically and what this stuff, I sometimes I get lost. I don't want to come off
The
stupid.
Nazis.
Okay, you know what? The Holocaust happened. We literally
We
ran out of
got-
tape.
I mean, we're gone. We're done. Thanks to Adam Egan, my trusty sidekick, and the great
Todd Glass.
Todd Glass.
Let's see it.
It's time to do jokes. This is where we put in a big thing, jokes.
Yeah.
So here, you can
Does
start.
it flash? Does it have
You
exclamation
can start.
mark?
Just do the joke right into that
Okay.
camera.
And who wrote these? You got me just doing jokes.
Just read a joke.
Unsolicited. Is this from that joke book, that 1942?
No, this is a real joke.
Two businessmen. I didn't write this.
This is
I
a
don't know what it-
topical joke.
Topical?
Yes, ripped from the pages of today's headlines.
Two businessmen bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. They are very excited with their purchase, as this is the only legal way to own black people. Now that is here, and I read that.
Well, you're not there. You know how businessmen are racist?
They are.
Yes, it's them being racist.
They
not
are.
You.
The two businessmen that bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million
Yeah.
are racist,
Oh
according
no, they're
to this.
fine, man.
They're
Jenny McCarthy recently got engaged to former New Kid on the Block Donnie Wahlberg. They plan to marry on Retard Island.
Now, why couldn't I have gotten this one? What? You throwing me under the bus on the next one again?
No, I'll give you
Give
a
me
good-
one of your better
I'll
ones.
give you a good one. Okay, here.
Give me one that doesn't offend many people.
This is not topical. It's just about. It's as if it's as if it's about your life. You know.
How come none of my friends ever have a dungeon? Instead, they all just have rape dungeons. So it's not a regular dungeon, is what you're saying.
Dungeon.
Thanks for again. The bus. I've never been thrown under an entire Trailways fleet.
I found the secret to life is there is no problem that a huge. No, I found the secret to life, Bob, and this is it. There is no problem big enough that a huge.
that a huge what?
No, I found the secret. I found out the secret to life, Bob.
Yes, oh great one.
Yes, and it is this. There is no problem big enough that a huge black cock cannot fix.
Didn't expect that at all. Didn't expect that with these. Didn't see that. I have here the last joke. All right, what's that one?
The last joke.
Yeah, if you want.
You're holding in your hand the last joke.
Yes.
Oh, here's one. I think you'd like this one. Michelle Obama.
No, you
it's
do
a topical
these.
joke.
I know. You've sold the other ones to me in the same way. Adam, good work.
Adam.
Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville.
Start again.
All right. Kids today, I mean.
You can't spell ABC.
Wow. Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville. With this and her appearance on iCarly, I think Michelle is ready to start appearing in films. May I suggest my favorite film series, Black Ass Fuckers? It's actually...
Does this go live to web?
Oh my God.
Is that an actual dish? No.
Why are
It's
you
Black
reading?
Ass Fuckers.
Norm,
Actually, there is a series.
like-
That is
it's-
true. There is
yeah.
a series.
Yeah.
Because I saw Black Ass Fuckers number 5. A pale imitation.
I missed number 5. But let me ask you.
That's where it really jumped
Let me
the
ask you
shark.
a
It
question.
jumped the shark.
Black
Norm,
Ass Fuckers 5.
It jumped the shark.
You just write all these? Is that what happened?
Jumped the shark.
I understand. You watch Shark Tank?
No, I did see. There was a magazine. I love Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Oh my, this is my favorite show. I did see a magazine called Black Ass Fuckers, I'll be honest with you. And I looked at I opened it, and it used to be you'd open it and pages would fall out. I don't know if you remember the old porno.
No,
You'd open it. Anyways.
I used to get
every
Playboys,
picture was just a black ass with cum coming out of the asshole. But should we do the last joke?
Do the last. You should do it yourself. Just pick
I
your
should
favorite.
do the last
Pick your
joke?
favorite. Pick your favorite out of all those.
Okay. Oh, this one's good because you guys can join me at the end of the joke. You'll see why. Remember? All right, just get ready.
This is like the worst Passover Seder I've ever been at. You know what that is?
I know what a Passover Seder is, but the worst Passover Seder is when you're there and this guy's talking about the smokestacks of Birkenau not being true.
Because he
Bring that
doesn't
up
think
at
it's
Pesach.
true.
There's no way I would bring that up at Pesach then.
Yeah.
Was
This is the
Passover-
closest I've seen to him admitting to the Holocaust, where he said, I think people have died. He's like, 6,600,000? What's the difference? I'm like,
Well, there's a lot of difference.
there's a
Adam.
huge difference.
You know,
I'm not
Passover,
arguing
they
that
say
with
that
you.
it was the Last Supper was supposed to be the Passover dinner, I think.
Oh, is that right?
I don't know. I made that up because most of the other facts have been made
Well,
up.
isn't Passover where they put the
lamb blood on the
lamb
door.
blood on the
That'll
door?
keep anybody away.
Yeah.
If I put lamb blood over my door, you probably would call
Yeah.
911.
And the Jewish children were spared.
Yes, because they
And
wanted to.
my people,
Which is what people is that?
Yeah, what is it?
the Semites that
The Semites, not
the Semites that weren't Jews, the children were slaughtered by God, by the angel of death.
Oh, the Egyptian in the first Old Testament,
Yeah.
apparently
Yeah,
they were
Deuteronomy.
the Pharaoh
Yeah.
in the Ten Commandments movie.
I don't know. I don't know about
The
movies.
animated one that I saw on
I don't know
see,
movies.
see,
Oh, that's cute.
the
I
Christian-
read the book.
Did you?
Yeah. Here it is. Ready?
What's your favorite religious movie?
I loved Passion of the Christ.
Did you?
Although I will say I thought it was very anti-Semitic because every Jew looked like fucking Lovitz. You know what I mean? They were all like, yeah, hook noses and stuff. So I could see the anti-Semitism. But what I liked was the incredible violence. But you know what was strange?
Did
I'm not used to-
they ask them, did you kill Jesus? No.
But when they when they tore apart Jesus with that, when they flayed him with that thing,
I'm sorry, I
and
asked.
then they took him to Calvary, it seemed like almost an anticlimax when they nailed him to the cross because he had been beaten so savagely with that crazy ball with spikes in it. Have you ever seen the movie?
No, it's hard for me to watch people suffer like that.
Yeah.
And like this. Which is more difficult to watch, this or The Passion of the Christ?
No, Passion of the Christ was my favorite biblical movie. What was your favorite one? Ben-Hur?
I actually liked the Last Temptation of Christ that Martin Scorsese directed.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Although it was a lot of New Yorkers. You are a Jew persecuting Jews. How could you do that? Harvey Keitel. And,
Yeah.
But I liked it because it was trying to...
I heard, this is what I heard, that, what was the movie? I guess it was Ben-Hur. But at the end, Christ is up on the cross, and John Wayne is in the movie. Because John Wayne always wanted to get out of his Western thing. So whoever the director was, it was one of those big guys. John Ford, I don't think it was John
Ben-Hur?
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
I remember.
But anyways, they said that,
important.
I don't know if this is true, but they said, he came up and he had, he was still John Wayne, so he had the last line of the movie, which was, "Surely this man is the Son of God." And everyone's like, oh, it's John Wayne saying it, So he goes, "You're doing it like John Wayne, like a cowboy, This is probably not true, but the director said, "Yeah, John Wayne has the last line of the movie."
All right.
So the director said, "Do it. This is the God, just as Jesus. Do it with awe,
All right.
Yeah. So what did John Wayne say?
Yeah, I don't know what the line was.
Surely this is the mess.
Yeah, partner.
Yeah. All right, this is the final joke. Chicago is now #1 in murder and sausages. That sounds like my kind of town. Chicago is my kind of town.
Chicago. Oh, Sinatra? I don't know. I like Chicago.
You don't know that fucking song?
Chicago.
You have to pay for music royalties here?
Yeah, we got to work on that.
By the way, I just want to tell you that this was really fun to do this.
Oh,
First, I was excited to see you when I came in before we rolled anything.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see you.
Oh.
You look great.
Oh, thanks. I got glasses now.
I like them.
Yeah.
They're non-reflective, I
I
believe.
got it off you.
I gave you my old glasses.
Yeah.
Because I've had nothing but Robert Q. Lewis glasses for the past 15 years.
Who's Robert Q. Lewis?
He was that comedian guy on game shows that always wore glasses. He was
Robert
a
Q.
smart,
Lewis.
chatty guy.
Oh, yes, he was on I've Got a Secret.
I've Got a Secret, those
Yes,
things.
yes,
But I don't know. It was a
Robert
reference
Q. Lewis, what do you say?
I was supposed to have his soul and have it in my body. And the answer is...
Robert Q. Lewis, what do you say?
I've got a question.
What is the
I've got a
question?
secret.
Yes, Robert Q.
What's
Lewis.
your secret? I shit myself.
Oh,
That's what he would say.
Kitty Carlisle, what do you have to say? Jesus Christ.
This is the best
It's
improv.
a regular fucking, I know, right?
We didn't know we were going to have questions.
damn,
I didn't know I had to go into improv. I'm going to be Robert Gillow. You be Kitty Carlisle. And let's be on the work show.
Kitty
no one
Carlisle.
wants to see. It's 1955.
Would you
Go.
like to guess the secret?
Yeah.
What is the secret? Kitty Carlisle. You're a woman.
I think that his secret is that he was in Black Ass Fuckers.
Wow.
I don't know.
Do you know Kitty Carlisle was named after Kitty Carlisle was named after a hotel in New York where pussy was good. Kitty Carlisle was basically a pussy whore hotel.
Were there any actual facts in this whole interview?
Yes.
What?
That I blew out the tire on Artie Lang's car.
Story.
That's
and Rodney.
And Rodney's true.
Man,
and,
I'm sweating like a fucking
me too.
whore in church.
What if we would be sweating like the people he doesn't believe it happened to?
Yeah, I know, right?
Is this going to be offensive to some people?
Yeah,
I think it'll be offensive to the
most people.
Yeah, the state of Israel.
But not your. I love the state of Israel. It's not a state, it's a country.
It's a country, yes,
Yeah.
and I support its right not to be extinct.
Yeah, my mom lived on a kibbutz for 2 years.
Good save.
Yeah, really.
Whatever. Yeah. My mother likes falafels. My mother used to. Thanks for bringing that up.
Sorry, Bob.
Well, you're a good friend, Norm.
No, you're
and
good.
Adam, you're here. That's Rickles. That's what Rickles does.
That's
and Rickles
right.
is I'm proud to say, because of John Stamos, I've been able to become friends with Rickles. And
I
that
will
was
say
from
this,
Dirty
I
Work.
was very,
He's so funny and
I was
he's-
very envious of John Stamos being Rickles' best friend. I was like, geez, man, why can't I be? And then one time I went to a party and saw Stamos with Rickles, and then I wasn't envious anymore.
Because it just didn't feel like something.
Well,
you
he's
wanted-
pushing him around, and Rickles.
Rickles is doing better now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 88.
He
I mean,
still
he's
performs.
outperforming, and he's running clips also. He's doing stand up, but he's also sitting and he's running clips from some of his best appearances.
I gotcha, yeah.
Which
I
is
saw,
a smart
you know
way
who
to
I
do
saw?
it.
I saw Jerry Lewis do that in Vegas, but he wasn't old enough to need to. But he would talk for a little while, and then he'd show a clip from the
Telethon?
From the telethon, yeah. And then he'd wheeze like he'd be by the because he'd sing a song, and then he'd wheeze while he's showing the clip by the piano. He'd go, this one's called Crazy Legs, and then they show a clip for 5 minutes. But then one time he was singing. He was going to sing a song. He goes, I'm going to sing bunch of Frank Sinatra songs, all right? And we're gonna. And I love Frank Sinatra. And he was one of my true friends. And it would be a good idea, Frank, if I could hear myself, then possibly the audience could also hear me. Would that be too much to ask? Everybody's like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh no!
He's talking
He
to
had
some
monitor
guy.
Problems.
Yeah, he had
yeah.
monitor problems.
Well, he didn't sing "Walk On" because it didn't sound like he could sing that.
No.
He did sing
he couldn't
"Wheel
sing.
On," "Sit On."
Yeah, he wasn't much of a singer.
No.
But he actually was. I read in Dino, he was so jealous of Dean Martin that he put out his own album of songs. Because he wanted to beat Dean and everything.
You asked me who was in the presence of
Dean
one.
Martin at Hamburger Hamlet.
You know everything about
That's what I
me.
meant. That's where I saw him. Was it Hamburger Hamlet?
Yeah, I didn't
That's where
know.
I saw him also.
We must have talked about it too.
I don't know. Well, he'd always be in Hamburger
And I
Hamlet.
walked in there, and he had lost his son, and he was he was one of the guys that just did it like. That was the guy I looked at.
Oh, yeah, he's a great.
And he was sitting there, and he was having a martini, and I just walked over, and I was 22, 23, and I just kind of stood there. I didn't want to bother him because or maybe I was 24, and he was just sitting there, and he looked up, and he was nice, and I just went,
I found your son. That's it. Bob Saget's been our guest. Thank you, sir.
love you.
A lot of bass. Let's get to our next topic.
Okay. They're jokes. Would you like to read one?
I would be.
This is a joke,
honored.
David Koechner, that is ripped from today's headlines, yesterday's headlines.
All right.
The World Cup.
Yes.
World Cup fever.
Yes.
Get some amoxicillin.
Ah, makes sense. The World Cup has arrived, so if you're wondering why your local bar smells, it's because all of the dirty foreigners. Dirty foreigners. Let me try that again. Hey, Norm, the World Cup's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, you go to the local bar there, don't you?
Yeah.
The local watering hole.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You ever wonder why it smells so much?
Yeah.
Hey, because of those dirty foreigners.
Ah. Frank
Jingoism
Koechner.
is alive and well here on NM Live. Here we go. Next
what
one.
jingoism means?
Yeah, I believe so.
What does it mean?
It's hard to put into words, but
It's hard to put into words.
It's like it's not like nationalism, but it's.
It is very much like nationalism.
it's hard
It
to-
is nationalism.
It's prejudice
No, it's close enough.
Now, would
against
you like to read this?
others.
I thought it was more complicated.
Would you like to read that?
Yeah. This week, I learned.
Oh, this week I learned. I'm sorry. Have you ever heard of TYIL? This week I learned.
I have not.
Well, it's sweeping the nation. It's hashtagging faster than. But it's called This Week I Learned.
Faster than something that moves quickly.
Yeah,
Yes.
like faster than a freight train. This Week I Learned. It's the TWIL. So check it out sometimes. Hashtag TWIL. And people talk about what they learned that week.
Let's see what I
So
learned.
This Week I Learned by
I'm
Adam Egan.
invited back to the comedy table.
These are always fun. This week I learned, just because I masturbated to that picture of a guy falling to his death on 9/11 doesn't mean I have to share it.
Well, you know.
Now this is fine. This is fine for a fella that during 9/11, was in Costa Rica partying with his friends. I was walking through the blood and the bones
so you were put off by that, Jim?
in Manhattan a little bit.
I can't believe you're
I mean,
right.
I had to get new pants because of the blood and the bones.
Just now or back then?
Back then, I was ankle deep in blood and bones.
You went through the war, Norm.
Well, it was an attack on our country. A recent report stated that there are over
You're Canadian.
60.
Good.
A recent report stated that there are over 65 active serial killers in the United States. What they don't know is there's actually 66. That's just between you and me.
Yeah.
Oh, Brides Magazine's released a list of 11 ways to, well, do you want to do this, Chuck?
I'd love to be invited back to the Comedy Roundtable. Brides Magazine released a list of 11 ways to be a terrible bride. They include don't interfere with the wedding planner, don't lie about how much the wedding cost your family, and coming in at number 1, don't fuck your husband's best friends.
Oh, that's the worst.
More than one. I mean,
We end the show now, David Koechner. Are you familiar with James Lipton and the Actors Studio?
I am familiar with it.
And you remember at the end of the show, he will always ask, he will go, these are 10 questions by some fucking guy that are famous questions, I guess, for dinner parties or something like that. I don't know where they came from.
Okay.
But you've seen this.
Sure.
So we decided if it's good enough for James Lipton,
Jimmy.
who is a pimp, then it's good enough for us. Did you not know James Lipton was a pimp?
No, I had no idea.
Yes, in France. He said it.
Okay.
Look what I have in my hand. And I've been having this in my hand the entire interview.
Today I learned 2 things.
Maybe there's a shelf down there.
Questions.
All right.
So the idea is the same questions for every guest. What? I don't want like that question.
He does not like the first question. You asked
What's your definition of heaven?
this show.
Would you rather be murdered by a stranger or a loved one?
I guess a stranger, because when you're murdered, you didn't ask me why. I chose it, but usually that's they're worse if you know.
Up close and personal.
Well, no, a loved one usually it's a passion.
Yeah.
and it's much. They can tell it's a much worse crime.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
why the extra 68 stab wounds?
Right.
I got you.
Yeah, just If
you got to pick them, this is kind of interesting. But if you got to choose them, and you may, what would your last words? What would you like your last words to be?
God, I was good.
That would be very accurate. What's your favorite dessert, David Koechner?
Probably a brownie with vanilla ice cream.
Oh my God!
A warm brownie.
Warm brownie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a lot of.
Who's your hero?
Who's my hero? I don't really have a hero per se.
Don't have one. Huh?
Well, I don't. There's not a person I hold up as like, wow, that's my hero.
No, never had a hero.
Well, no, I mean, comedy-wise, I would say like the Marx Brothers or Monty Python. Those guys.
Those
Dabney
guys
Coleman.
are Dabney Coleman.
Dabney Coleman's
All good choices.
But a
I
hero,
like the Troops. Would
how about
you
this?
rather?
How about this? I'll say this. My wife.
Your wife? Yeah. That was good after 5 minutes.
We can edit
This is
it
a very
down.
good question,
Okay.
and you don't have to say this person by name or anything like that. But who has let you down the most in your life? Seriously. You can take a moment. Not everything has to be funny, David.
It's the person you're looking at.
Oh.
Well, I think we all let ourselves down the most. No one else can let you down. That's your choice. You can't blame, your failure or whatever on someone else. It's yourself. You've let yourself down. So it would
what
be
a
me.
beautiful answer that is. Taking responsibility completely. Well, this is kind of I'm not going to ask you what's your most embarrassing secret. Why would you tell me? If
That's the chair. My most embarrassing secret, I can't.
Of course you
I don't
can't
have any embarrassing secret.
do you eat at McDonald's?
I have eaten McDonald's before, yes.
Do you like McDonald's?
On occasion.
What about that pink stuff, the pink slime?
I don't know much about it. I mean, it was reported widely in the news in the last year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's only McDonald's that.
I don't think it is
It's
either.
a huge problem is the amount of
Huge
process.
problem is that I had a punk band named Pink Slime, and we fucking lost our recording contract after that.
I like it. A larger issue is the amount of processed food we're all eating as Americans.
What is going on with that?
That's just a convenience.
Yeah, processed food. What
And
is
profit.
that?
Well, it's-
I've heard of it.
It's got preservatives in it,
Yeah.
and a lot of salt, a lot of sodium.
Yeah.
So oftentimes a lot of high fructose corn syrup.
And what does it do to you?
Causes diabetes.
Well, that's terrible. Then they
Hardening of the
amputate
arteries.
your leg.
Not always. Sometimes you go blind.
Sometimes you go blind.
Yeah.
Sometimes both. And then you can't. At least you can't see that you only have one leg.
You know what I like about this show? It's not afraid to take on the issues. Hard hitting with Norm Macdonald.
Do you eat well?
I try to.
You try your best. Do you eat whole grains?
I try to increase the amount of fruits and vegetables I eat.
Fruits
fresh,
and
fresh
vegetables.
foods. Yeah,
Yeah.
less processed food.
Do you still slam back a few drinks?
Oh yeah,
Scotch,
I'll have Scotch occasionally.
bourbon.
I prefer Scotch to bourbon these days.
I thought you were a
But
Scotch.
I'm more of a beer drinker. IPAs.
Oh, IPAs. What's that? International Pale Ales?
That's India Pale Ale.
India Pale Ales. What do you like to drink? Other than fucking jizz. I mean, what alcohol do you like to drink?
Whew.
Glenlivet.
Glenlivet.
Scotch.
Yeah, that's a Scotch.
It's a Scotch.
That's what he just said.
Yeah. And jizz. Scotch and jizz.
No.
That's the name of your band.
That's a good name.
Norm, is there anything we didn't get to today? If you don't mind, I'd like to plug Big Slick in Kansas City next weekend. That's the 20th and 21st, I believe. It's a charity for the Children's Mercy Hospital there in Kansas City. You can donate online. Go to Big Slick. They have a Crowdwise campaign and donate under my name because we have the competition myself, Paul Rudd, Rob Riggle, Jason Sudeikis, and Eric Stone Street. They're all from the Kansas City area. And also the National Kidney Foundation.
Wait a minute, I put money into that.
You did?
Well, I saw it on Twitter.
You did? Good.
You put it on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, at David Koechner.
Well, tell the people what it's for.
Of Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. It's a fundraiser they do every year for the last 5 years. This will be the 5th one. And also Comedy for Kidneys, the 25th or 26th. Look it up. I'll post it on Twitter. At the Laugh Factory.
Awesome.
With the great Bill Burr. We'll be doing some
Bill
comicals
Burr.
that night. One of the
Fantastic.
best.
Oh,
Have you had Bill on your show?
fantastic.
Don't you love Bill?
But he's great.
He's
yes.
the best.
Yeah, funny, always funny. Incapable of being unfunny.
Yeah, incredible.
Now, let me ask you this. This is the question we always ask everybody.
Okay.
And no one has yet disappointed us. What is your favorite joke that you've ever heard?
There's two of them. One is about a bear in the woods that keeps getting shot. Do you know that one? Am I supposed to tell the joke?
Sure.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. There's a guy, a hunter, goes out bear hunting. Got a big rifle. He's out there for a little while, and he spots a bear, and he gets in its sight. Blam! Bear goes down. Guy goes running over hill and dale. He's looking around. There's no bear. And the bear he feels these paws on his shoulders. The bear goes, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? Coming in here, shooting at me. I'm going to teach you a lesson." Then he drops the hunter's trousers and he Rogers him rightly.
Oh, well, roundly.
Roundly. And so the hunter was, quite embarrassed, and then he goes out and gets a bigger gun. He goes to the same area looking for that bear, and he sees him. Blam! I got him this time. Bear goes down, he goes running, looking for the bear. Feels these paws on his shoulders. He goes, "Unfucking believable. You come into my woods again and shoot at me. I'm going to teach you another lesson." So he drops the hunter's trousers and
Once again.
Rogers him rightly and roundly.
Yes.
Next week, Hunter comes back with an elephant gun. He's like, "I'm going to finish this bear once and for all." He waits. It's cold now. Sees the bear. Blam! He's sure he's got him.
He's got that bear.
He's got that bear.
I bet he does.
He's going looking for that bear. No bear around. He feels those bear paws on his shoulders. And the bear says to the hunter, You don't come here for the hunting, do you?
Oh,
He likes it.
that was awesome. I never heard that joke. David Koechner has been with us the entire hour. What a guy. Hey, you want to do some jokes,
On the
Rosanna?
baseball.
I have jokes.
Okay.
Well, I think we have to take a.
No, we're not
going to
take a break.
Oh, okay.
Fuck the break.
No, we're going to just do jokes.
Sounds good.
And who better than Roseanne?
Well,
I can't think of anyone.
I can't remember any of
Hey,
them.
Roseanne, how's your cyber eye?
It's weird. I had to get a eye replacement, and it's like really
Which eye?
rare. It's this one, and if you look in, you can see that there's like a fucking $6 million man kind of
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
cyborg deal in there.
Looks cool.
It is. I mean, I can see, but like sometimes it like starts blinking and it like just goes off on its own, has its own life.
What if you put like a snow globe in there or something like that?
That would be good. I'm thinking to wear a patch,
Oh, that'd be
like
cool.
a pirate patch. I thought
A
that'd
patch
be cool.
would be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
Oh my God, I hurt my eye when I was young, and they were going to give me a patch, and I was so excited. And then it was a pink patch with a bunch of like holes in it to get the air in.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, it was like.
Point of that.
I know. Other, I would get the scorn of pirates in the school. So here's a joke to read. This is the only show where we actually give jokes.
Okay, what am I doing?
You just read it. You can read it to the camera. You can read it first and then see, and then nix it, or you can.
This is a long fucking
It's
joke.
a long joke.
I'll do
I
it
know.
though.
I think it might work.
Harriet Thompson, 91.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it to the
No,
camera?
you can just retell me.
Finished running the Rock and Roll San Diego Marathon in just over 7 hours, becoming
Wow.
the oldest person to complete a marathon and setting a world record for the fastest time in her age group.
Goodness.
Right? The previous record was set by Mildred, I already fucked
is it
this up.
Mildred
I gotta
Kendrick?
start all over. The previous record was set by Mildred Kenilworth, who died during mile 1.
Oh, goodness. So she crushed that record.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, it is their old truth. Hey, what about this? Kim and Kanye celebrated their baby Northwest's his name's Northwest, his 1-year birthday by throwing a big party. What's that?
It's a her.
Oh, it's a girl. Yeah, Northwest, of course. I should have known by the name.
North, yeah.
Anyway, she had her 1-year birthday, and they threw a big party with jugglers, a bouncy house, and a Ferris wheel. The bad news is that Northwest is a baby, so it doesn't know what the fuck is going on. This is all attitude. You have to say this with attitude. So you have to read ahead and use your acting skills. I liked you in She-Devil.
Thank you. A study has found that men are just as likely as women to spread gossip. At least that's what I heard Rick tell Brad, who, by the way, has a crush on Patty.
Oh, does she? Hey, Madonna, your friend, says she's planning to remake the movie Casablanca.
Oh, really?
Yeah, finally, somebody's going to get it right. What about this?
Is she really doing that?
Yeah, apparently.
Here's a really easy way to figure out if you're talking too many meds. Here's a really easy way to figure out if you're taking too many meds. You refer to your medication as meds.
Oh, yeah. You have 2.5
See, it does
meds
say
with the
talking, though.
Oh, Christ, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You didn't make a mistake. The only things certain in life are death, taxes, and getting caught whacking off in a Target dressing room.
Are these your tips?
I've learned that the hard way. Here's one. It's about your friend.
Hey, you're not going to believe this, but Bill Maher is giving away the solution to all our problems for free. He is, isn't he?
Yeah. I like Bill Maher when all his problems are just his problems. So he's like, why are there kids around all the time, and why can't we smoke? What about whores? It's all just his stuff he wants. You know, cat ladies, they're so crazy, they're always thought to be crazy. You know who's even crazier? Snake ladies.
Oh, yeah.
They have all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Hey, let's give one to Adam Egan. This is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
Watch this.
Workers at a Harvard University library have discovered a book that's
Now
bound
she
with
is a judge on Last
Comic Standing. Oh,
So
well
do
then
your best.
you're gonna really get a kick out of this one. Listen, so workers at a Harvard University library have discovered a book that's bound with human skin.
Ew.
I know,
God
it's disgusting.
almighty.
Anyway, they were able to determine that part of the body the skin came from after the book was grabbed by a sexy librarian and immediately expanded to 3 times its size. You know what I mean? It's like 3 times. 3 times its size. It's like
Maybe if you didn't start.
Does that
maybe-
mean it was made from a penis?
Yeah, yeah. It's like an
Oh.
erection.
Yeah, that's the funny part.
I get it.
But
Funny,
in
yeah.
the premise brings up all kinds of
No, it's worded.
shadows of the Holocaust and
Yeah.
stuff. Good
I don't
Lord,
really see
God.
how it.
When Gwyneth Paltrow, When Gwyneth Paltrow says being a movie star is harder than working a 9-to-5 job, apparently she said that, she knows because she spent years clearing heavy debris from demolition sites. Oh no, wait, this just in, Gwyneth Paltrow's never done shit. Here's a nice short joke.
Oh, great. I'm the Ray Allen of my local Applebee's because I'm always nailing 3s. Because I have sex with women who are.
You see what he does?
get that.
You see how he does that thing that new comics do where they do a bad joke, then they try to explain it as a way of saving. You understand?
That is the funny part, though, the tap dance. Remember when Carson would start
Carson
tap
was the
dancing?
greatest at that, yeah.
At doing the death
God,
joke.
but
I'm not even Carson Palmer of joke reading.
But you did do the back pedal thing.
Yeah, I do a lot of backpedal.
But here's the thing. This is
pretty
what I'd see comics do this in clubs, and they would do it, like Letterman, and Carson was the best at doing the saver.
Right.
But you don't do that with your act because with Carson, someone would write the jokes for him, so he would have to save them. But you don't put it in your act and then fucking do a saver every night.
Well, I couldn't wait to see that when he was saving the joke, and then
he's the greatest.
and then they go
Take the mic.
T for 2, and he
Oh
started
yeah,
tap
2
dancing.
for 2.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I almost wanted him to die so he would do that. It was so funny. He could die great. Dying great is a real.
Oh, I think he meant actually die.
No, on stage.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, that's like skill.
Because he did die.
I prefer
I know
that,
he
yeah.
died.
Yeah.
I love watching you. It's rare, but when you fail on stage, it's infinitely
hilarious.
funnier to me.
Who?
You, like I said, it's rare.
But would you like to
good.
hear my impression of Johnny Carson phoning 911 when he had his fatal heart attack?
I would.
Okay, you be the 911 operator.
Okay. What, I
Ding,
just say
ding.
hello? Hello, 911.
Yeah, hello?
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, this is Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson from television?
Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
hello, Mr. Carson. What can I help you with?
I don't know, I feel like there's a yak on my chest.
You did have a lot of yak jokes,
Got a lot of
didn't
yak
you?
jokes, yeah. Remember he had the jokes about Ewell Gibbons? He'd always
Oh, yeah.
He'd always
Eating
pick one guy.
cardboard.
Yeah, eating cardboard. And I didn't even know who he was when I was a kid, but I just
I
laughed.
still don't know. Who's Yul Gibbons?
He was I think he did Grape Nut Cereals commercial. I love now I have to explain to this fucking guy.
It was about roughage
Yeah.
and, organic roughage
Got it.
kind of guy.
So I didn't even know Grape Nuts had a. I didn't know they had a commercial.
Shut up.
Gosh,
For 1 fucking minute, trying to talk to a legend of comedy. You're talking
I'm
about.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to find out who Bill Boggs was from 2 episodes ago.
Bill Boggs, I remember that name.
Sure, Bill Boggs.
Comic, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I met him, but I heard of him.
Yeah, he had a show in New York. And he was also the creator of the Morton Downey Jr. show.
Oh my God, I loved that show.
That was a
That was
great
fun.
show. God, man.
That's what I always called the Robert Downey Jr. I still
Oh,
call
yeah?
him Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah. You think,
I love that show.
You thought they were
Morton Downey.
related?
I just it's so stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
That was such a great show. It's like,
He was an unsung
are you old enough to
pioneer of
remember
that.
Joe Pine? Because that was what
No,
we
but
reminded of.
I remember the one that was Rebecca.
Oh yeah, Wally George.
Yeah, I remember
Wally George.
Yeah, that was
He
fun.
was good too.
But Joe Pine was the first one.
Right.
Right?
I remember Martin Downey Jr. go, what do they do? He actually said this. What are you talking about? The guy shoved a corn cob up a young man's ass. What are you talking about? You know, he was talking about that, about William Gacy or
Yeah.
Oh, John
Wayne.
John Wayne
John Wayne
Gacy.
Gacy.
I can see the Xanax kicking in right now.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It's all right? It's kind of fun.
Flatlining. It is. It's relaxing.
John Wayne Gacy, man. Not my idea of a clown.
Not funny at all.
No.
That guy wasn't funny.
Except
I remember I was in
maybe
Italy.
compared to this guy.
I remember I was in Italy when they executed him.
Oh, yeah.
When I was on one of my vacations, and they came on. Oh, they kill. People are like, that's not right. That the United States has capital punishment. I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Totally agree. 30 kids.
50 kids,
Oh, was
yeah.
it 50?
Something
Well,
like that.
it's the same.
Some people just they
the whole
deserve
6
capital.
No. Get into
Are you
numbers.
anti-capital punishment or something?
No, I'm pro-capital punishment, but this guy starts talking numbers and deaths. Be careful, because it always gets back to the Holocaust denial.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, I do this thing where it's like six, you know, that six degrees of separation.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
I'm Jewish.
me too.
So I can
Oh, my
take
goodness.
anything in six.
Hitler?
I can take anything in 6 steps back to the Holocaust. Anything.
Anything.
Uh-huh.
What about Julie
Grapes.
Newmar?
Huh?
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews, well, she was in the
that's
Sound
so
of Music.
easy.
How easy is that? That's only
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
That's
there you
2.
go. Used to be
What
that.
about this joke?
Alex Trebek set a Guinness World Record for most game shows hosted. The previous record holder was Who Gives a Fuck?
Is that a game show host? But wouldn't that be fun being a quiz master?
I'd love to. I wish
God.
I could host
That would be fun.
Jeopardy. That'd be so rad.
Oh yeah,
that's
that'd be
a good.
fun.
That's a good show, Jeopardy.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is my plan is for Jeopardy, because I watch with my son, right? This is my plan would be. See if you think this is a good plan. You watch Jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
And you answer the questions you know and everything like that. But nobody tells you this. Then they play it again for you. And you see if you can answer any more. I bet you couldn't.
You don't think you retain any of the?
Because you skip by the ones you don't know.
I don't know
Do
what
you?
you're saying.
I'm saying, let's say they showed you Jeopardy once, right?
Yeah.
So you would get 20 of the 40 answers maybe. Then they play it again. Do you think you would get all 40?
Yeah. Yeah, probably because, it has time to settle in.
So you think you would remember them?
No, I think you'd get more probably if you
Yeah.
were watching it again.
Yeah. I like it in Jeopardy where the clue, the question, there's a clue within the question that helps you along. You know what
yes.
I mean? Like they'll
is.
go,
Yeah.
this guy who starred with Audrey Meadows in The Honeymooners was once a pool player or something. You know? Like the pool player has nothing to do with it.
You mean they give easy cues?
Yeah,
Clues?
I don't know what I'm saying. What
Uh-uh,
about this?
I think it's hard. That show's
hard as
hard.
hell.
You got to be smarter than hell to
And
go
you know
on
when the
there.
categories come up, you go, oh, I have a chance at that one. Oh, and then there's operas. Opera?
Opera.
Fucking shit. Or classical music. Do you know that?
No,
Oh, God damn.
I don't know anything except for it was about snack foods. I can kill on that. Those are hard questions, though.
Oh, yeah. And you don't have much time. And then you have to, you can see the other guys know the answers, but they're not good with their thumbs. Because they're all hitting their thing. But actually, somehow one guy always gets in first.
What about that one Mormon guy that won like $2 million?
Ken Jennings?
Ken Jennings?
Yeah,
Was he
that's it.
Mormon?
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe
from
so.
Utah.
Wow.
He was like a
Yeah, that was insane.
idiot savant.
Brian Regan plays Salt Lake City, and he does it for a month straight.
He does?
That makes sense.
They love him.
He's
One
a
of the
good
few
comic.
that's just that good and,
He's just
and
so
works so
clean.
clean. Yeah.
Yeah,
So clean.
perfectly clean. And
He's hilarious. Too.
That's tough to be that good and,
clean. Yeah, it's
That's
impossible.
so impressive.
I'm impressed with clean comics.
Me too. Way more impressed than anyone that's superior as a dirty. It's seems like a crutch a lot of times.
I like dirty ones too. I like.
It's a real meeting of the mind. And what about this one, Roseanne?
Oh my God! 3 children were. Is this like a news story? Is
Yes,
that what I'm
because the
reading?
Civil War reenactments are very big this month.
3 children were injured when a cannon exploded during a Civil War reenactment. To keep things authentic, the children had their limbs sawed off with a rusty hacksaw.
I don't think that was right.
That's not good.
What about, do you believe that Jeffrey Dahmer should have been broomstick raped to death?
Oh my God, Norm. Well, he was killed.
Well, that's how he died.
That's how he died?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was like that way.
No. I mean,
In prison.
the country didn't do it.
No.
No, I didn't know he died like that. I thought
I have no
just
problem with that.
cut his head off or something.
Oh, yeah, why not? You have no problem with that?
No.
No, he's trying to be tough guy, Mr. Tough Guy.
I think he should have been killed by the state.
Yeah, that's what I
before,
believe.
You know, he
Not by
was-
other prisoners.
Don't
but
leave it up
God's
to
sake.
them. They got enough problems.
Yeah.
No, I feel like lethal injection, for what he did.
I like that beheading. I think that's the fastest, quickest.
It's
Why
painless.
don't they do that?
I know.
Who the hell thought of an electric chair?
No,
Who
it's
thought
not
that was a
good.
good idea?
I don't know.
We'll get a chair,
medieval.
make it hot,
Make it electric.
make it so hot that the person will start bubbling inside from heat.
That's not good.
And then their heads explode. It always takes an hour and it doesn't work. And they go, can you sit over here for a while? We have to fix the
I
chair.
think they should behead people, as you know. I've said that many times.
I did not know that, but I
It's
love that
so-
idea.
it's just
Why'd
quick.
they stop that?
It's quick.
Why'd they
you know,
stop
there's-
that,
It's
Roseanne?
painless.
Do they
and
do it in
quick.
any country?
I think they do it in, the kind of,
Middle East?
yeah.
No. You know how they do it in Russia? They'll go up, a guy will be sleeping and is asleep.
Uh-huh.
Guy walks up and shoots him in the back of the head.
Oh, that seems way better than
That's
anything.
good.
Yeah, that's
that's
the
not
best.
bad. You wouldn't even know, it's coming. That's
No,
good.
it's coming and then it only costs you a bullet.
That's how I want to go. On top of a
That's how I'd like you
top
to go
of a
too.
3 I met
I
at
just
Applebee's.
like
You want
to
to
go in
split
my
on a
sleep.
fucking handgun?
I just want to go in my sleep when I'm old and
Yeah, that's
have a nice dream or something,
Yeah. Where are you going to go?
To die, to go with the Lord.
You believe in Lord?
Kona.
I do.
You do? Are you religious?
I believe in God.
And I do too.
That's as far as I go.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't need your buddy Bill Maher telling me I'm an idiot.
I don't like when atheists say all that shit. It pisses me off too. I'm glad
Yeah,
you said
they
that.
don't know shit either.
So I want you to shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
Who
just-
asked you?
They do the same thing that they have a problem with everyone else. You know, they always say, well, don't push your beliefs on me, but they do the same thing. I'll just shut up.
It's just, we're gonna. The guy says what you just said, but way less eloquent. That's all.
I
it's
wasn't.
fun.
I don't
That's
think
kind
I
of my
was too
thing,
old.
yeah.
I don't
Oh
think I
yeah,
was too
you're
old.
articulate. Okay,
I think I am.
I'm going to give you now to
Okay.
end the show.
All right.
Thank you very much for being.
That was
here,
fun.
Roseanne. Can I kiss you?
Of course.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet. Oh.
sweet. I'm glad I had a cert.
Everybody asked me on this show, when are you going to get a woman? I said, I'm not going to get a woman before I get Roseanne. I'll fucking tell you that. So this is a political joke.
Okay.
I hate political jokes, but this is my idea of a very good political joke.
And I'm reading it?
Yeah, it's about
Okay.
President Obama.
Oh, what do you think of him?
It's a little negative on him, this one.
President Obama, in a speech this past week, said that we should solve the bee problem.
The bee problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, we elected a guy who sympathizes with bees?
Jesus Christ, what have we done?
What's wrong with I don't get that.
I don't get that one at
I
all.
like bees.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
grow bees.
You do?
Yeah, I raise bees.
Oh, really?
Bees, there
my uncle
wouldn't be a
used to do
fucking
that.
earth if it wasn't for bees.
Yeah, you go out
We
there
have
with
no
the
food
thing
without
and the
bees.
smoke.
Yeah, I wear the bee suit and the whole deal.
Yeah, yeah. My uncle did that, and you know, he would make, if you want to make really nice honey that's not clover honey, but it's rather, what's the other kind of honey?
Blossom honey?
No.
Mesquite?
Huh?
Mesquite?
Mesquite honey? Buckwheat honey. So what you do is you plant a big field of buckwheat, and that's where you put your bees. Here, this is a better Barack Obama joke. And then we'll say good night.
Okay. Presidential fact. Barack Obama is the first president to ever say the N-word as a term of endearment.
Yeah, that's not how George Washington used it.
No, I don't think it was a term of endearment.
No, sir. Roseanne!
Hey, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much,
Fun.
sweetie. Back with legendary stand-up comic
That's very nice.
Marc Maron.
Appreciate that.
And a pioneer. They say pioneers end up with arrows in their back.
Yeah.
But not you.
Not yet. Not yet. I imagine they're coming.
Here's jokes. Here's a good joke for we always like to read jokes.
Okay.
Would you like to read a joke?
Sure.
Here you go.
You want me to just do it to
Yeah,
camera?
you can do it to camera. You're a good reader.
An 89-year-old Washington man fought off a robber with a golf club. Though, to be fair, the only reason the guy was swinging the golf club was because he mistook the robber for the grim specter of death.
Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious.
What kind of joke is that?
I don't know. That's Adam Egan's going to read
That's
one
not
now.
a joke.
It's sort of not. But Adam
Why
Egan,
can't I have a good joke with a good
I'll give you a good
punchline?
one. I'll give you a good one.
Does that make sense to you? You're a golf guy.
It makes some sense.
Is that a tag, though? Because the guy was swinging the club was because he mistook the robber for the grim specter of death.
No, it's not a joke.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get you a joke. Go ahead.
A Pakistani father stoned his daughter to death for marrying a man of her own choosing, which means Pakistan's tourism board is going to have to find a new slogan to replace "Come to Pakistan." 3 whole days without anyone being brutally stoned to death by her own father.
You like that one?
These are Norm Macdonald.
No, here, this is an actual joke.
That's what I was laughing at.
Mark, this is an actual joke. This is an actual
These are
joke.
Norm jokes.
This is an actual joke.
It's kind of a weird feeling watching the Flintstones lately.
Yeah, it's weird. Watching Flintstones?
Sure, yeah.
How so?
With their Stone Age drive-in movies and their
Yeah.
caveman bowling, it just seems so dated.
It does in a way. Do you know who Ives and Courier and Ives are?
No.
I don't either.
Really? That's where that's going to end?
Do you know Courier and Ives?
Courier the font?
The font. Hey, a cowboy at a rodeo in Georgia used his lasso to apprehend a gunman. At least this is according to a recent segment of America's hottest new game show. Georgia Police Blotter or episode synopsis from Walker, Texas Ranger.
It's so long.
I know.
Too long. It wasn't beaded out properly. Where did these come from?
Here's one for you. This seems sort of like you.
An Orlando police officer's press conference on curbing gun violence was interrupted by gunshots. Witnesses say the shots were incredibly loud, not as loud as the deafening irony, but still pretty loud.
Hey, All My Children star Matthew Cowles. You ever watch All My Children?
Sure.
Well, All My Children star Matthew Cowles has died at the age of 69.
Oh.
Or has he? It's what is All My Children called? It's called a
Soap opera?
Soap opera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soap opera.
Where do you get these jokes?
Some guy. Here.
Research shows the obesity epidemic is primarily affecting lower-income Americans. No lower-income Americans could be reached for comment because they were busy waddling around Six Flags, gnawing on a giant turkey leg, and waiting in line to buy an airbrush Yosemite Sam tank top.
Classist.
Classes and also 3 unsuccessful beats at the end.
I know, right? Well, that's him.
Not quite.
Yeah, that's just me. That's not the
him.
joke. Yeah, we can't blame the joke on that.
Miss Nevada is the new Miss USA. I now must apologize to Miss Delaware. I actually have nothing to do with the final decision, but I will treasure our evening together forever.
That's pretty good.
Oh, did you hear about John Kerry? This is torn right out of today's
Oh, yeah,
headlines.
today's paper. John Kerry says the latest terrorist threats against America are baloney, quote unquote, baloney. Then he went on to shout, "Why don't you pussies put your money where your mouth is?"
He's not.
In quotes.
Not. Here's another of the same. Which do you think is better?
Secretary of State Kerry calls the latest terror threats baloney. On his lunch meat danger scale, that's more dangerous than salami.
but not as dangerous as turkey loaf.
Did you ever eat pimento loaf as a boy?
No, I mean, I saw it.
What about this?
I tasted it. How about head cheese? You ever eat it?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh.
I never ate it, but
You know
I
what it
saw
is, huh?
Sure, it's head.
Yeah. They call it cheese, but it's
I don't
not.
know why it's cheese. It's just
not
pieces
cheese
of
at
head
all.
floating in goop.
Yeah.
Like gelled goop.
And then they said, let's put cheese, because no one will buy a head.
Yeah, but some people.
I mean, this guy will buy a head.
I was in Montreal at that restaurant.
Yeah.
Cochon de whatever, petit, something de cochon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
So, like
A pig.
Yeah, the pied de cochon.
Yeah.
Right. They make their own head cheese. And I'm like, really? Why would anyone? I thought that was garbage meat. But no, they're making it right out of the head. You can order a whole pig's head there.
You can?
You can eat for two. Only for two. It says pig's head for two.
Pig's head for two.
Sorry, did I spit on you?
No.
So you can order the pig's head and just sit there and nibble on it.
Jesus Christ.
But so I ordered the house-made head cheese. Oh. And even then, it was hard to get through.
Yeah. I was in Cambodia once. I ate a brain. It was brain.
Really?
Yeah, mine was stupid. Now, what about this joke here?
The world's oldest man, a 111-year-old parapsychologist, has passed away. He now knows for sure what all that stuff he believed in was bullshit.
Oh, shoot, that's depressing.
He now knows for sure that
Like
all that stuff he believed in was bullshit. You really got to know what a parapsychologist is.
I know, that's a weird word, parapsychologist. The world's oldest man, this one says, Alexander Imich. Is it the same guy passed away at 111?
Yeah.
Is that what your card says?
Same guy, yeah.
Same guy. And the world's youngest man, Declan McAllister, was just born. Oh, wait, correction. The world's youngest man, Fan Wu Chang, was just born. Wait, no, it's Gaston Leclerc. No, Javier Gutierrez. No, it's Taki Yamashita. No, there's, God damn it. No wonder they don't keep track of the youngest man.
Long way to go. That's what we say in the business.
I know. You want to do one last joke?
Yeah.
Now, it's a little controversial in these days.
Okay, let me have it. A list of the world's top 25 amusement parks was released this week, with Disney's Magic Kingdom coming in at number 1. Not making the list, Kyle's Rape Dungeon.
The great Marc Maron proving that rape can be in a joke and get a big laugh
Nothing
and
to
be
do with
funny.
this. It was handed to me. You saw it.
Oh, no, we know.
It was handed to me.
We know. But through your sheer delivery, your tyranny of will, you made the joke funny.
Yeah. That's the day Mark's career ended.
No, Marc's career just taking off.
Skyrocketed.
At the age of 49.
50.
50.
How old are you?
50.
Yeah. You're 50?
Yes. But I'm
right.
on the decline. Now,
Are you?
I wonder,
I thought you were on the
wonder
bounce
how,
back.
I wonder, yeah, probably.
Wow.
Marc Maron.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Thanks
buddy.
for being here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good to see you.
This is the thing we do. This is a thing.
He
maybe-
sounds mean.
Oh yeah, he's a bully. There's a new thing called This Week I Learned.
Oh.
And it's, you don't like the computer, but it's on hashtag This Week I Learned. Everybody writes This Week I Learned. You know.
Okay.
It always seems to be me that learns these things every week.
Yeah.
Which is
So
odd.
Adam Egan, This Week I
Oh,
Learned.
let's see what I learned this week. This will be the who. This week I learned you can pay your dentist with blowjobs.
Who knew that, right?
That's what I found out this week.
But you won't feel it because of the Novocaine.
All right, I learned 2 things this week.
That's Is that easier?
The other thing I learned this week is
that easier?
Is it easier to give the blowjob when you're not
numb?
I mean, no,
face. Remember when Cosby?
Cosby?
It puts new meaning when he says, open up. Keep it open.
Easier to give the blowjob.
A little wider?
No. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sorry.
Rinse.
Rinse. Here's one for Martin Mull to read.
Oh.
It's about the president.
Presidential fact.
What?
No, I want to continue to work in this town.
We're not doing that joke. It's ridiculous. Here's one for Adam Egan. Most of them for Adam Egan for some reason.
I do a terrible John Travolta impression, but I find the impression gets a lot better when my male masseuse is jerking me off.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that was all alleged, I believe. I don't know about that one.
Give massages.
Huh? You know, they had a big black mass devil worship this week, apparently. But I skipped it because I believe you can be just as close to Satan on a golf course as in some stuffy old satanic church.
It's really what's in your heart.
That's exactly what. You don't want to do anything that, but I'm trying to get you one that doesn't hurt people. So here's one, Mr. Mull.
Okay.
Mr. Mull, it sounds weird.
Some biblical scholars now believe that Jesus Christ was married. They also believe he had the world's worst bachelor party.
Oh, that would not have been a good one.
Terrible.
Not a good one. What about this joke?
Okay. I love it. A Chinese man spent 10 years developing a suitcase that doubles as a motorized scooter. There's no word on whether he had any particular hopes or dreams.
Movie fans are now
See, that comes back to, that's right in there with, I know how you feel, we lost our trunk.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I should get it. God, I wish I got that. Maybe you could write me a letter or something. Explain it. I need a map for that joke. I think because when I heard it, I was so young and it bothered me for so long.
Yeah.
But you laughed as soon as I said it.
Yeah.
Movie fans are now celebrating the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters and are demanding a Ghostbusters 3, at least according to a homeless dude on my block who looks suspiciously like Ernie Hudson.
Jesus.
Remember Harold Ramis?
Yeah, a dear friend of mine.
I did, was he?
Yeah, he lived right next door to me.
I love that guy.
Yeah, poor dear departed Harold.
I went to, because when I was young, he was in SCTV, the television show in Canada. And so I knew him from there on air, you know. And I always thought he was really funny. And of course, Ghostbusters. But he was casting for this movie, and I can't act, I never get anything. But I really wanted to meet Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
And so he flew me all the way from New York to LA and stuff. And then I was going to meet him, and the producer was bringing me down to meet Harold Ramis, and the producer was like this fat guy.
What was the film for?
It was the Michael Keaton movie. We played all different parts. Multiplicity, where he was cloned. And I thought the script is cool because I really love Michael Keaton when he's doing all these different characters. So I was so excited. I'm going with this. The producer was a big fat guy with a white beard, and I was telling him, I said, I can't wait to meet Harold
Red
Ramis.
suit with a bag of toys?
No. Just, he'd eaten a little.
I just thought I might know him.
But he does look, he did look a little St. Nicholas. And so I said to him, I can't wait to meet Harold Ramis, because I loved him when I was young. And he goes, oh, you've already met him. It was him. He was Harold Ramis.
Oh.
And I had not seen him since he was a rail-thin, a guy with black hair.
It's like your Jack Warden story.
But then he was real nice. He was really nice to me and stuff. And then I said, I can't do this. And then he said, I didn't think so.
It's similar.
And he said that he keeps hitting me.
It was similar to your Jack.
You know what he does? He goes tell that story.
They're usually good.
Don't you love those guys?
Yeah.
Tell that story. And you go, what? It involves his mother or something, and I'm like, you can't tell another person?
Literally
tell that
never.
story.
Just like an inch below, show that scar. Will you show that scar?
This is where I smashed my
I was wondering about that. I
hammer.
thought it was like a Penn Jillette thing, like where he paints his little fingernail red.
Oh, to mean what?
I don't know. Probably just to distract your viewer or sleight of hand, something.
He puts you down.
That's black as can be, that nail.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. But orange is the new black. But not in my apartment building. Kevin is the new black. But he puts you down, Penn Jillette puts you down as a hero in his movement towards atheism, because he said you were the first person, along with Randy Newman, who he had heard utter the words, I don't believe in God.
Well, I had written a song called, a gospel song called Jesus is Easy. And
wait a minute, I remember he had one, I saw the one.
I did one, I Want to Be God.
I Want to Be God, yeah.
I Want to Be God.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
In fact, that goes back to the trunk thing, too, because at one point, while I was performing I Want to Be God, which was a song about wanting to be God.
God shows up.
God shows up, and I'm talking to him, and I'm saying, like, I said to him, first of all, I am so sorry about your boy. But I think I know how you feel, because I had a hamster down in the basement in one of those little cages that was going like crazy, and the door flew off, and he like flew out and hit his head on a water pipe. He's all right now. I mean, he was just dazed, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I laughed at that.
Yeah.
I should have laughed at that.
And that's the trunk joke.
That's the
again.
trunk joke. Good Lord.
It all comes back to that trunk joke.
Sure does.
Wow. Hey, this is an Alabama youth ministry group is under fire after putting up a billboard that quotes Adolf Hitler. To be fair, they did pick his most inspirational quote.
I heard he was a mean drunk.
This guy's a Holocaust denier.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
True.
But he's, other than that.
My Torah portion, had a bar mitzvah, both sides of the family are Jewish. Holocaust happened. Stalin was worse. It doesn't mean that I.
Why does he keep saying Stalin is worse? Isn't that what every Holocaust denier says?
They're both unspeakably evil. Yes. Not Holocaust.
I'll tell you something, that Weird Al fella, he ain't so weird. He just sings parody songs. My friend Weird Phil, that guy's weird. He saves all his cum in Sparklets bottles. He saves it for marriage. I'm sorry I said that stuff. It's just here on a card.
Sometimes you really question the wisdom of free speech.
I was so trying to get away from his denial of the worst atrocity known to man.
That Stalin is a real conversation stopper. He could light up a room by leaving it.
Yeah.
When he went to parties, he was probably in the room with the coats.
I'm invited.
Old Joe Stalin.
I'm invited to very little.
That would be a bad folk song.
Old Joe.
Old Joe Stalin was a hell of a guy.
In his big red boots. Yeah.
I snored. What is that? That's just started.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
Anything good?
You mean it sounds like cocaine? No, I'm snorting when I laugh, like ladies like Joanne Worley do or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me now. That's one of my being aging things.
That'll just get worse as you get older too.
Yeah.
There'll probably be nothing but snorts when you're my age.
What's the worst thing about your age? I remember there was this movie once by who's that guy that did Blue Velvet?
David Lynch.
Yeah, David Lynch did this G-rated movie called The Straight Story.
Yeah.
About an old guy, Richard Farnsworth.
Yeah, it was great.
It's a great movie. And they said, what's the worst thing about being old? And he said, remembering when you were young.
Well, also having things go on you. Like, for instance, I wear these little things here.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, aren't they nice?
My mom has
I'll tell you a funny story about these. I was doing a 2.5 Men, and my character was supposed to. I was supposed to have a date with Charlie Sheen's mother. And they invite me to this party, but the story goes that when the door opens, I've actually brought my own date. And I had this like 23-year-old gorgeous young lady who was my date. And when the door opens, we're supposed to be right in the midst of a big, deep kiss and hug. And I was a little hesitant, because I'm old and she's young and so forth. And she says, no, go for it, whatever, I'm game. So these hearing aids have pre-recorded messages in them every now and then to tell you about maintenance and so forth and so on and so on. Oh. Just as our lips meet and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm thinking, I got it. I'm still here. Just right then I hear, and it's a female voice that gives you the alerts, I hear, battery low.
Oh, wow.
And it was it was the equivalent of the ultimate icy shower.
Yeah, exactly.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
but that's one of the worst things about being old is certain parts that don't work that well anymore.
You didn't like that one?
What? Yeah, you can say it. No. I almost think that what if they get to the point where they say that like at the end of your life?
Battery low?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 3% left.
Yeah, or battery out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now we have questions. You ever watched the Actors Studio with James Lipton?
Have I ever done it?
No, have you ever watched it on the TV?
Yes.
So you know how he has the questions by Jean-Jacques?
No.
Yeah, he has these questions that he asks all the people at the end. It's
Okay.
like, what's your least favorite word? And
okay.
people go, intolerance.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So we have our own questions. Ready? Mm-hmm. I don't know these questions. What? This first question says, who the hell do you think you are? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, what's the last thing you would ever do?
Skydive.
Ah, interesting. Just too much risk. Risk reward is not good.
Yeah, I just what's the point?
Yeah. Most underrated body part. Is there one that when you get to be 70 you appreciate more than?
I'd say the molars, because you can make noise when you eat and drive people nuts.
Ah. What's a bivalve?
It's a mollusk of some sort.
It says if you were a bivalve, what kind of bivalve? Okay, forget that.
Quahog.
Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in 10 minutes?
Well, I have to pee.
Very tough question. Oh my God, I snorted again. Oh, your favorite song of all time. That's kind of tough, but.
Oh, my favorite song of all time. It's a song that Joe Tex recorded years ago called Bad Feet.
Really?
I love it.
Bad Feet? Well, we're gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, for sure. Not necessarily my favorite song, but,
you love that song.
I love that song.
Bad Feet. Something you like that most other people don't like.
That most other people don't like. Well, that's one that's going to actually take some thought. Well, scratching my ass.
That's kind of the perfect answer.
What little glowing candle of hope keeps back the terrible darkness of despair for you?
Next painting.
The art, huh? That's beautiful. Do you think I was serious with that last bullshit question?
No.
No, but that is beautiful, though. That you have your
It's
art.
lucky.
You're lucky man, huh?
If you can find something that, and I don't even consider it a passion, I consider it just another form of breathing.
Sure.
You know, and my wife says that I'm driven, and I think she's right. You know, I am driven. You spend 7 days a week, at least 8 hours a day in the studio.
Wow. That's what you do?
Yeah. Unless somebody has the lack of judgment and books me on a show, you know. Other than that, I'm in the studio.
My gosh.
And even when I do a show, like when we were doing Dads, for instance, it was great because on the one hand, it is an absolutely solitary occupation, painting.
Yes.
It is you and it.
Yes.
And after a while, that can get kind of maddening. And so, what fun to go off with like the bunch of lunatics I was working with over at Fox on that show and have that much society and social interplay and
You
so
get
forth.
some socialness out of it.
Yeah, and then.
But not just that show, but any sitcom. Don't you do, after you do your beautiful paintings, you know, that have some meaning to them?
Yeah.
And then somebody hands you some graffiti to read?
Well, you know, they're different. It's apples and oranges. You know, at one point it occurred to me when I was doing doing Rosanne, I'm thinking, Jesus, here I am working hard to learn something that Tony Danza's already mastered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. That your time is being misspent.
I don't know.
I mean, your time's better spent in that studio.
I tend to think it's well spent in the studio.
Yeah,
So.
and you probably live a long time.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, you don't look like
I've cheated the Reaper for 70, so
Oh, I thought you were going to say like some specific incident.
No.
Never had a heart attack, none of that stuff.
No.
What are the statistics?
You don't look 70 to me.
Well, it's makeup.
No. It's the handshake. I mean, you
Really?
Yeah, you seem like a strong, like you work out or
No.
You don't.
No.
So this is passion that's keeping you going.
I think so.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. I got to find some passion in it. Maybe I'll go to the school of hyperrealism.
I think you have.
I just meant overly realistic.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a fucking school.
You check it out. You use a computer, I bet you do.
I do.
Just type in hyperrealism and you'll see some images.
But I don't want to see that. I want to see your stuff. So what? So your stuff is what is it?
Just Martin Mull,
photorealism.
Martin Mull, and then just hyphen or slash or whatever it is, art. And
This is a piece of art I like that, and I didn't know what it was. God damn, I wish I knew what it was called.
So do I.
It was a picture of a picture. I can't explain it.
Was it things?
It was a guy painting. Let's say, a man, and there was the painting of the man and the painting of the man he was painting.
It's so unbelievable. That is precisely a picture I am working on right now and worked on this morning. Swear, as God is my witness.
Wow.
And he's got a young lady sitting there admiring him. And it's called Realist Painter and Admirer.
I'll probably buy that.
It's about this big.
That'd fit on my wall.
There you go.
All right, let's talk after. Pleasure to have you on the
Come
show,
by the
sir.
studio.
Awesome. Oh, I'd love to. That'd be awesome.
What fun this is.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
so
a lot of fun.
much.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, yeah, we should say bye. All right, well, are you going to read one of these jokes?
Why not?
Well, I want to find out.
Why did they give you those?
No, these are just, whenever we have a great comedian on, we
Not yet.
Oh, of course. One of the greatest that ever walked the planet is sitting right to my immediate right.
The planet.
Let me see here. What about, I don't know. Here's a joke about an old guy. This is actually, the premise of this is true. The world's oldest man died yesterday.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this joke?
Man had died. Cause of death, everybody yelled surprise. Oh, it's
You don't read it to yourself.
That's also got a Japanese ending where they yell, supplies. What does he do in the army? Supplies. He do supplies.
Hey, how about this? This is a joke.
Yeah.
But you got to read it out loud without reading ahead.
I spent the last 2 weeks at Disneyland. It was so much fun. The next time I'm taking my wife and kids. Worst thing I've ever read. Piece of garbage. The next time, I'll take my wife and kids.
It doesn't really
but
make much
that's
sense.
a rhythm joke. That's a young man. I had such a good time. I got up this morning at the crack of my back, stumped up the crack, went back to bed. Take my wife, please.
That sounds like Henny Youngman, but you didn't like him.
Nobody liked him.
But you can do an impression of
He
him.
hated me, too. He hated everybody.
Yeah.
I remember sitting at the Friars once. I'm with him and a lovely table of people, and he says, give up the goddamn jokes. Go back to your impressions. Do your impressions.
Jesus.
Don't do any jokes. Leave that for the pros.
Whoa. God
She
damn.
was so mad that I was leaving mimicry and doing.
That's ridiculous.
Becoming a great comedian.
Not here, man. Here we want you to do the jokes. Hey, World Cup. You watch the World Cup?
Oh, I'm wearing one. I'm king here. In World Cup soccer, Mexico defeated Cameroon 1-0, or as it's known in soccer, a blowout.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, very low scoring games. You know?
Who wrote these? The enemy?
Can't find a joke we like here.
Do you know who Jonah Hill is?
Huh?
Do you know who Jonah Hill
Yeah,
is?
the actor, the little fat kid.
Yeah. How about this for a joke?
He's a friend of Tatum O'Neal.
Good God, you're down. Channing.
Jonah Hill says his heart is broken over the fact he was caught on camera calling a photographer a gay slur. And speaking of things that are broken, Jonah Hill's chair. A nice statement.
Yeah, it's more of a comment.
Yeah. A gay slur.
Yeah.
How do you slur a gay?
Yeah, I know, right?
They got enough trouble.
Good God, they slur each other all the
How
time,
about a
don't
gay
they?
goy?
A gay goy.
Yeah.
It's like this character. He's a Holocaust denier.
Queer.
Not true.
Yeah.
Had a bar mitzvah.
A query.
Yeah,
I'll
queer.
ask you a query.
I get it.
How do you talk to a gay guy? You ask him a query.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I made up a little joke.
Did you just do that?
Huh?
Did you just do that?
Of course
right
I used
now?
it. I'm right here.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was in your back pocket. And you
No,
were ready to use it.
I'm good. I'm a linguistiker.
Yeah, you're fast.
I'm a language thief.
Like Spike Milligan.
Spike Milligan.
Remember him?
Yeah, from England, the group.
Yeah.
Milligan Gang.
Yeah, he.
I loved England. I loved when I was there. I loved London.
You would fit in there.
I did very well there. I
Yeah,
went to the club there for 12 weeks.
Yeah, because they appreciate that.
And I had, they're great. They love to laugh. Great audience.
But they also love that specific skill you have.
Yeah, well, they like broad comedy, like bang out, and I nailed them right away. It was a big nightclub called the Town Hall, the Town and Country, Town and City. I don't remember.
Yeah.
English audiences didn't. I had a girl I knew that was a showgirl here.
Oh yeah.
From England, and she read language everything with me, you know. Instead of Brooklyn, I had Bunbury. You know, she gave me all the local.
Oh,
it worked. It worked.
Yeah. Well, you brought the showgirl with you from.
She was going back to England.
Oh, I see.
I told her I'm coming to London.
Yeah.
And I've got what I say instead of. She said, you'd say Barbary Square. You'd say this. You'd say.
Yeah.
So I linguistically changed the comedy, educated myself.
Yeah, I
That
bet
was a big hit there.
I bet you were ahead with her linguistically.
Oh, they're great.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I had a lot of English performers come to New York to be on my TV show.
Performing. Huh? No, I meant by.
What?
I mean, here you are with a showgirl in London.
Yeah.
There must have been some love involved there.
No, she was a showgirl in Las Vegas.
Well, then.
A giant. I went only with. Her name was Sylvia Joseph.
Yeah.
She was 6'4".
Oh.
Her breasts were 8'9". Oh. And I said, I'm going to London, and I want to anglicize my act.
Yeah.
So she helped me, and I never saw her again.
No, you sure?
No, not until I opened the club, and I was anglicized. I was also ostracized and ignorant. Oh, well.
Well, what's your last question?
It's too long.
Jack Carter.
I feel like it's too long of a question.
Well, you can do a short answer.
Is there a comic that you were surprised by their success, or one that you felt didn't gain the success that they deserved, other than yourself?
You know, at the time, those things occur to you, and now I can't think of a single name. Isn't that funny?
You know, I can't think of a name because I was telling Steve O'Donnell this early.
Yeah.
Maybe you can think of it. But my father told me that there was a comic that was the best comic he ever saw.
Yeah.
And he never worked again because he supported Hitler.
Supported Hitler?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of this comic?
Yeah.
You ever heard of this story?
Nazi Joe.
Nazi Joe, was that his name? No.
He supported Hitler.
No, yeah, he was a comedian that was very well known.
No
My
kidding.
father said he was very funny, but then he went to Madison Square Gardens where they had a big pro-Hitler, thing.
Oh my God, really? You know,
You don't know that fella, huh?
No, I'm glad I missed that one.
Yeah, but that would hurt your career.
Oh yeah, that would have been a
I'm
big.
surprised this guy's still on the air. He's a Holocaust denier.
Oh well, I'll have another one for you tonight. As soon as we leave here.
Why don't you ask him one final question?
Somebody's doing
Why
that.
does Norm keep insisting on
Somebody's doing that
Holocaust?
joke.
What?
Somebody's using the word Holocaust for a joke.
That's
It's
terrible.
that Chelsea, stupid
Chelsea
girl.
Handler.
Yeah, she's got a guy and they love Holocaust, the word.
God, what is
with
that?
With that dwarf she's got with it, a misshapen dwarf.
Yeah, and he's
they
not
love
a white.
Holocaust.
He's not a white man either.
No.
And they do Holocaust humor.
Yeah, and I keep. Why does she keep repeating that joke?
God, even that word.
Terrible thing to bring up. Yeah.
God Almighty.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Otherwise, I don't like her. But she's a pretty girl.
Well,
She sure gets a lot of mileage out of the show.
it's like there's already
Because she
been a
does
lot of
nothing.
mileage on her.
She does a bad monologue.
Yeah.
Then sits down and does terrible interviews.
And they make millions.
So much.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Millions of dollars.
And she's
I'll bet that dwarf has a
She's
star
everywhere.
on the fucking Walk of Fame.
He's making up T-shirts.
Look
We're
at
gonna
all these
make
cards. People send you in cards just to kill you. One funny joke I'd like out of that whole stack.
We'd be better off playing pinochle.
So the reason no,
Did you ever have
that's not funny.
killer joke that if things were going wrong, you'd go right to that joke? That would be your signature joke.
We need it now.
Yeah.
More than
What
ever.
is it?
Yeah, closer. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Oh, give me a minute.
Sure.
Two Jews got off an Arab. No, that's no good. Two guys were talking about the bar mitzvahs. One was a Chinaman. No, that's no good. Those are bad setups, you know.
Yeah.
A closing joke I always did was the three women.
Three women.
Yeah. My son's a doctor. He's the biggest surgeon in America. He's got his own hospital. He did 85 bypasses, all on the same man. He's the biggest doctor in the world. He owns his own hospital.
Wow.
Second woman, bullshit. My son's a lawyer. He owns a building in New Jersey, runs for 12 blocks. My lawyer, he graduated law school. He sued the law school and won back his tuition. My son is the greatest lawyer in the world, and he owns his own building. Third woman, what does your son do? She said, my son is a homosexual. Really? Where's his office? He doesn't have an office. He doesn't work. He doesn't have to. He has two wonderful friends. One is a doctor, owns his own hospital, and the other one.
There you go. The great Jack Carter. Never to be forgotten.
Closing joke.
You'll never be forgotten.
Well done.
That's for certain. Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for being
What? Empty? No check? Nothing? A hint? Something?
Love a mug.
I'll cook.
I'd trade tomorrow for one more sunset from back then, where the sky burns.